day. Now, for those of you who don't know, the whole priority here is to learn how to vlog better. For me to then do my daily vlogs when I can and make them good, because um, years of programming from other people's vlogs, and you just kind of forget what your style is, you know. And I find that just doing things myself would be better. Um, you guys, oh my gosh. Hi, my name is Mimi. Welcome to my reading. Welcome to my channel. We scream, we yell, we cuss, we do all of the above here, and we talk about pretty much everything. There's nothing that is not off topic, okay? And especially we talk about justice, family, love, and consequences, okay? I love talking about consequences. I feel like my whole life, all I ever knew was consequences. Like, um, so hi, I'm an earth angel. If you needed to know, I'm the empress. So, um, oh, um, if you watched my last reading and you know about my whole eviction case and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell you I moved to San Francisco about 6 months ago. And about 4 months in San Francisco, I think this is my 8th month or so, right? 4 months into San Francisco, I moved into this apartment building. When I moved into this apartment building, a bunch of people started flirting with me, trying to be like casual, romantic with me. And I'm not used to that. I've never been through that before. Like, on a neighborhoodly level, right? I've never been in a neighborhood where my neighbors wanted to like fuck me. And then like that was weird to me because I've always been a neighborly person. You know what I mean? I grew up like in an environment where like when I would be there for my people, you know what I mean? These are my community members. I feel like I look weird. Like my, there we go. There's lighting. Okay. I feel like these are my community members, you know what I mean? So I'm not looking at them in like a romantic sexual way at all. But then you know what I mean? You know, when push comes to shove, there had to be some things done in order to prevent there being heavy losses in the situation. So overall, what you call it right now, I was trying to move. And then 2 months in, if not 3 months in, a neighbor whom was a mother of one of the boys, I guess, that was flirting with me, or flirting at me, ended up punching me in the face and stalking me and lying about me. I actually caught her the other day still lying about me after fucking 5 months, and I was like, okay, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a shit, right? But the crazy part about it is that like I ended up not being able to keep my mental capacity capacitated because I was going through a lot of culture shock. I was going through a lot of that culture shock, we could say. And it really hit me on a transdermal level, okay, where it's like it's very surface level, but I already had a lot of deep rooted issues when it came to like not belonging. So coming here really like fucked me up a little bit because it was like I was leaving like it was more so like a cat going away to die. Like felt when that was not the case. I actually was trying to survive. I was trying to run away to survive rather than go away to die. Oh, you guys, I had to take a little. I've never been, I was never the kind of person who was proud to say that I was, um, had thoughts about, let's just say, unaliving myself, right? I never was proud to say that I had thoughts like that. You know what I mean? And it was more so like a, even in my mind, a strategy, like almost corrupting my strategy, like, of like, would you call it? Yeah, literally, it was just so like, I watched a reading recently and it was showing like basically the paradigm of my current lifestyle. And what you call it? I'm so happy that that reader knows how to read because I mentioned it in my last reading where I was like, I'm not sure about like Cancerian risings. And I found out they were Cancerian rising. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, and I was so surprised. But as it turns out, what you call it? Um, as it turns out, um, basically they heavily intertwined with how do I call this? Like it's like it's not like Is it like mahjong? No, it's like balduk. Is it balduk? No, it's not balduk. Man, I can't remember this game. Hold on, 'cause I'm playing it. But I stopped because I did not know the rules. I was like, oh my gosh, I am fucking up in this game. Like it was like shocking me. Is it balduk? Hold on, y'all. Is it balduk? Hold on. Okay, so it's this Korean game, board game. Let me see. Stones. Sorry, you might hear my cat going through it a little. Gongi? Is it gongi? I love it when you type stuff and they just don't tell you what you're doing. I don't. It's not gongi. It's not gongi. Fuchsia. No. She just like got triggered like recently. Let's just yeah. Oh, batuk, batuk or batok. Okay, batuk, batuk. Yeah, batuk. So it's close enough, right? So I recently like it's like batuk, right? So it's like my lifestyle's laid out. Like let's say all the white, right? All there, or white or black, whatever, right? It's laid out, right? And then it's like they're trying to place their lifestyle, like and their consequences for their lifestyle in between my lifestyle. And then it's like a corruption game. It's really funny how it works, right? It's actually quite interesting. So it's like if one stone, like I don't know, see, I don't know the rules, so I have to like really reprocess like my mentality and find out how it is because it's like, if one stone gets taken away and turned over, it's not like I lose one of the stones like chess or something like that, or like even like multiple different kinds of aspects of it. No, I lose like a whole row of stones. And then it's like you place each stone so carefully there. And it's like if you don't do it properly, then the whole row is taken away. And then a whole section is taken away. And then it's just like fucking overridden really quickly. Like where you would think the whole point and concept of the game is that you have to take a majority of the board, right? Right. But the thing is that it can also backfire in which that if you don't place a stone in the right, this is I've been really excited. So it's like when you place one of the stones in one aspect of it, then it like takes over like half the board. Like it can literally backfire wherever you place your lifestyle. Like it's like putting your eggs all in one basket. If you put all your eggs in one basket, then like the whole bunch could get rotten, right? Just from one egg, right? And it's kind of like that kind of situation. But I've never been the type of person to put all my eggs in one basket. Like, first of all, I make sure that there's also containers that I put my eggs in so that they don't touch each other kind of energy. So like that's why I said like it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's a very riddled in situation. I also realized that I wasn't asking enough how questions because like I grew up not really asking like how because at a certain point in my life, I think when I was like about 6 years old or 7 years old, whenever I would ask how like a big ass thing, right? So I would just stop asking how. Actually backfired on my math teachers because like I ended up just formulas that would work on my and I would just get the answer correct, but then whenever I would show how, they would be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'd be like, I don't know, like you got what you asked for, right? They were like, no, like you gotta learn how to use the formula. And I was like, ah. Like, you know what I mean? So it was always like that. I never thought about like that it was like hard for people to make formulas like to benefit, but some people did. Some people like, would make up formulas so that they would get the right answer. But they were always so shocked. They were so confused. They were like, how are you always getting the answer right? Your formula is completely off. And I'm like, well, I don't know. They're like, and then I remember they had to actually take me like onto the side, my math teacher, and like explain to me why formulas are super important and following the formulas are super important because I just did not grasp why that was so important. Like I thought like, well, if I'm getting the answer right, like why does it matter how I get it as long as I get. And then that's also where I also learned the importance of like like literally like when I was like what was it when I was like 10, 11 years old, literally I was like, oh, okay, like I really understood it because it's like the teacher was like literally telling me like, okay, so you see how you're using this formula for this, right? This other question uses the same formula, but if you use your formula for this question, you don't get. I remember he had to like switch up the question a little bit more. He was like, wait, no, this one worked. Like no, it's like, okay, this one. It was funny, but he was trying to show me the inconsistencies that my formula could be done. So like I obviously did not, like, you know what I mean, I did not look down on him because like I got one of the questions right, or you know what I mean? Because like he showed that it was literally by chance. I was like, oh, so this is all chance, right? So this is also where I learned how luck worked. So I was like, oh, okay, so like, oh, okay, gotcha. So like they only numbers and the particular set of numbers. But for a different particular set of numbers and a different kind of calculation, it wouldn't work the same way and would give the wrong answer. But the reason why these formulas were so like important, obviously through, you know what I mean? You have like, I don't know why I'm not thinking about, I don't know why Van Gogh comes to mind. Like that's also, this is another thing. There you go. So that's us catching. So if you see the title of the video, that's us catching a premonition, right? A false premonition. This is to purify our vision. So we're removing that false premonition. We're not talking about Van Gogh here. We're talking about people like Da Vinci. We're talking about people like Tesla, Nikolai Tesla. We're talking about people like Einstein, right? We're talking about people who actually made formulas to be able to help scientific research and mathematics in the future, right? So we're talking about other see, and then there's another premonition, Edison. We're not talking about Edison here. We actually do not condone Edison here. Like we are not an Edison household. This is not an Edison household. This is a all right. Um, yes, gnarly, I know. So, let me do this really quickly. Um, um, yes, I knew it. Wow. Let me find out his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That I'd be shook. I'd be actually not that shook, but I'd be shook. So basically, yeah, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. Yeah, basically. I figured. Yeah, that's what we, yeah. So like basically, oh my gosh, that's actually um yeah, basically Persian, yeah, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, right? Basically figures, right, 4,000 years old. Um yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's what I like to hear. So I love that. Okay. So this is that household. Yeah, okay. This is that kind of household. Okay. You see, let made them really rise up. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about now? So obviously, right, you can't like fake that or falsify that, right? This is what I was trying to talk about. So why is it so important that visions are purified? Why is it so important that visions are clear and that they're not false premonitions, right? Because some people can daydream and fantasize and all of that. And yes, sure, they might have like maybe they may be, under the command of some principles so that they would, you know what I mean, manifest whatever it is that they have to manifest, but that doesn't make them an oracle. It doesn't make them a seer. It doesn't make them a true prophet or anything like that. It could just make them a human going through manifestation lessons. Like they may just be learning how to manifest and learning how to be able to appropriately manifest in their own lives. But the problem is that there are these individuals who are so adamant on utilizing manifestation abilities and abusing manifestation powers to the point where I'm seeing that there are angels who are coming to me to get lifted because it's like they're literally, what I'm feeling and what I'm experiencing from this is that there are angels who are quite literally bowing out in like, you know what I mean, in a situation and begging basically for mercy at this point, right? Because it's like what I'm saying is like there are so many individuals who are trying to get manifestations done that aren't aligned with the prophecy. They're not aligned with a certain alignment of, you know what I mean, pure vision. Because now I'm receiving, I'm not even now, but before I was receiving all these premonitions like of that are extremely doubtful or unfaithful, or they're not aligned with the true purpose, or they don't really go in the right direction, or they cause worse harm for the collective. And it's not the right kind of, it's like, you know, it's like there's a theory, right? Like it's like, what would an angel do? What would angels do if in one side of the world there are people praying for justice for their people against a different people, and then those people at a different land are praying for justice against those same people. So like, what do you do, right, in a situation, right, when a whole bunch of people are asking for one certain direction of things, and a whole different bunch of people are asking for a different direction of certain things, right? So it's like, the reality of the situation is that in between those people there are individuals, right, individuals who are praying for accurate, like principled things, right? So like, for example, someone may ask for justice for their land so that they would have food, right, in their land, and that, but this may also mean that it may cause a tsunami somewhere else, and then, but they don't care, it's not affecting them. Actually, it would benefit them if that tsunami happened. But what about those people who see it coming and they're like, okay, we want to pray against it, right? We don't want a tsunami here. We would rather that, would you call it, it go like be elsewhere, you know what I mean? We're not taking the hope. No, 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 no. Let that a different person do it. So what do you do in that kind of situation? This is why we leave it to God. And you know what I mean? This is why we literally leave it to God. It's like, you're when such things are being brought up, um, you gotta have a lot of foresight for the answer, right? Of what you can pray for and how you can pray for it, right? So that you're not in that defensive position all the time, so that you're actually focused on, you know what I mean, the main goal that God is transpiring for. So seeing, I don't know how else to explain it, but like, it's just a theory of that, okay? It's just a theory of that. Um, I'm not saying that there is an issue or problem when it comes to these kinds of things. I'm more so saying that like it's a real thing that happens, and then the theory would be that what would you do, right? So how, you see what I mean? So like, this is where I come in, where I haven't been asking enough how questions. So it's like, how would I pray where instead of manifesting false premonitions into existence, that I actually align my vision, God's vision, and our collective vision in one union, right? How do I manifest through union? You know what I mean? That is my question. How do I manifest through union? How do I accept? See, there's a lot of like, there's, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you see what I'm saying? There's the false premonitions again. So these false premonitions, yeah, but like I said, it's like that game. Like, remember, like that game? It's like that game. It's like, we're getting into it, y'all. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Oh my gosh. Y'all, that I went to my pho place, and that place is so good. This is the second time it happened, but when I came in there, it was this guy that comes in. This is the second time this has happened, and he's come in before, and he's asked the same question. He says, "Do you guys serve any oxtails?" This is a pho place, right? I'm like, this is the second time this is happening. I'm just wondering, what the fuck, right? Right? I'm like, should I ask the owner? You know what I mean? Um, so confinement in reverse is coming through with calm, inner peace, simplicity. meditation, like, you know what I mean? And nightmare. Yeah. So ironically, I had a nightmare, finally. Well, it's like, I usually, like I said, I usually don't recognize when I'm having a nightmare because, like, right? I usually don't. But this was obviously a nightmare. Like, this was, I think that I don't know which principle came through to help in this situation to help me understand, but like I don't know what it was or who it was or whatever it was, but I'm gonna find out at some point. But it's like definitely allyship, like someone came through and was like, "Oh, this is how you do it," right? And like it was like so cartoonish. It was so cartoonish. I got my foot stuck in a bear trap. I don't know what happened. All I remember was getting my foot stuck in a bear trap, and I was like, what?" I was like, I was like, this is a nightmare. Why am I getting a nightmare? So I was sitting there trying to figure out. I'm like, because like, okay, so if one gets their foot stuck in the bear trap, okay, Fuchsia, no, they're not thinking of. Hold on one second, y'all. Is this new? Cause like, why is it not switching off? Okay, okay, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Okay, I was like, okay, so if I get my foot stuck in a bear trap, right? The the thing to do in a situation isn't like first of all, prying it open really quickly and getting your foot out seems like a great idea. But well, there's a lot of other things that could happen in between, right? Panicking is like not the best thing to do in a situation, or like flailing leg around or anything like that. Most of it has to do with like when you're trying to open it up, and let's say you do open it up, right? You also have the risk of like slamming it shut back on it and causing even a, like your foot's chopped off, right? Luckily, I was wearing a boot in a situation, a very sturdy boot, right? And then like that's what I was thinking about when I woke up. It wasn't like, oh, that I got my foot stuck in a bear trap. What do I do? Da, 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 da. It was like, oh, thank God I had a boot on. I did have my armor on. Didn't Isn't that funny? I had my so I had my armor on. I was fine. But what'd you call it? Maybe that was the whole thing about that nightmare. Is like, okay, alliance is coming through. It's like I actually had my armor on. I still do have my armor on. So, there's a lot of these premonitions that just consider having an armor. Like that's another thing. What's his face? They just consider having an armor. So we're gonna look into this. Hold on, maybe the gift. Yeah, exactly. Mask in reverse, nightmare. Yeah, perseverance. You see what I'm saying? The mask in reverse is on the nightmare, and that's perseverance. You see what I'm talking about? So endurement resolution challenge. So endurement is less about like I'm getting stabbed, and I'm just like, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, right? It's more about being bulletproof, like actually having a bulletproof vest. You know what I'm talking about? So like now I understand that better, because it's like for the longest time, that's why you're not supposed to endure negative things like that, right? Because when you're enduring negative things, you're accepting comfort in negative spaces, which is not what you're supposed to be doing, right? You're supposed to accept comfort in positive spaces and rebuke, what'd you call it? False comfort in negative spaces, because you're not supposed to be getting used to what's negative. You're supposed to be getting um used to kind of like, what'd you call it? Persevering, right? Instead of like indulging. That's another thing. It's like you're not supposed to let indulgence come through in negative spaces. Anyways, so okay, it's coming through with stop and reverse and gain. So this is a profit, conclusion, cultivation with goal. We have a lot of cards here, and this is their energy right there. Remember what I was talking about? So this was me like placing my stones and then it taking over their side of the got majority here. Yeah. So we're putting incited, putting up boundaries upon them. This isn't really a game, right? This isn't really a game. I'm just explaining to you how this is working in like the grand scheme of things. Okay. That's why there's Fury at the bottom of the deck. It's like you can quite literally see lifestyle play out, right? And so alliance is here as well. So it's like the alliance in the situation. So honest trust and compatibility. If you don't know anything about mystical realms and stuff like that, one thing that I will tell you is like everything is alive, right? Everything is alive. Everything is alive all the time. It actually freaks me out quite a bit. Um, and it's that like, especially in folklore and Russian folklore, you'll learn how much everything is alive. And so it's like the walls are breathing kind of energy. Like there are eyes on the floor and ceiling, right? Like it's like learning the compatibility of the universe to yourself. Also learning that there is always some sort of marker of registry, right? In the grand scheme of things, right? So why I'm explaining this is because like things that may seem inanimate in the mystical world are actually very much alive, right? So like for example, the sword of truth, me being the sword of truth, right? So you Excalibur, you know what I mean? So it's like you can really understand the dynamic of like the mysticism within the situation, right? Um, so for example, now the armor of God is very much alive, right? So like one can learn to be compatible with these things, or like a Harry Potter, right? Your wand has to come to you, but your wand is also a speaking living being that from a different dimension that is also exercising its power. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to really understand dynamic here. You know what I mean? And so this is like the same thing with angels and like Power Rangers. Like, you see what I'm saying? And so with Alliance there, and it's obviously coming out with Gift right after, which is just that arm. There they are, disturbance, and I'm really seeing that. You see what I mean? So remember when I was saying like you're laying out the cards, and then you could see like right after the after the goal, because there's profit, right? Conclusion, cultivation, right? And I was going to mention this as soon as I started this reading, and it was that like there's this really good song that I remember because, like I said, panic is not the best answer in a situation, especially when you're armored up, right? So this is something that I was actually made fun of for a minute now, and I was like, I was just kind of like reflecting about it because it's like I'm trying to know more about myself, right? I'm trying to know more about this gnat is so mad at me. Like I think that was like I don't know, it's so mad at me. So um I'm trying to understand like the power dynamic of the situation. Um when it comes to like reflecting, especially not I'm trying to what? No. Okay. So I'm trying to like I'm reflecting within what was being made what I was being made fun of. Um about, and it's more so that like um I didn't know that I was so protected like in that way up until I had that nightmare. Okay? Because like I said, I never really knew what that was, and a lot of people like try to explain to me, but like I guess this was God coming. I guess it was God coming because I said that in my last reading. I said it in my last reading. I said it in my last reading. I was like, if I could just ask God to do it for me, like instead of like all these different beings and just God straight up just telling me, just like showing me, and God did, and now I get it. Like I think it's just like this ego. There's this ego around teaching me and like would you call it, and around like giving me lessons, like, and this is actually something I've just like thank God that he came through because now I can really understand like what's happening and what's going on, because like there's this huge ego about teaching me a lesson that I can't really comprehend, and it's like it's really a big hindrance, it's really a big disturbance in my life. And it's like it's when people feel like they have to like punish me till the hell meets like end meets so that I would be able, because I would never. And it's like, have you tried giving me the ABC book? Like, you know what I mean? Have you tried, you know what I mean? Giving me the little booklet that's like 2 + 2 = 4. They haven't. They hadn't. No, no, I didn't get that. No, I had to get my life. I had to die. Like I had to die for these people to like understand that that's not how you teach me stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like like I don't know what it was about these people. Like it was so much ego. It was so much ego about these individuals, and like I'm really learning lots because yesterday I was kind of like being in a defensive position about my father, but I think it's because he like forced me to call him father. When I refer to father, I really do refer to the Most High, but it's like this battle that he's like battling God with, where it's like my dad. I will just say my dad. Fuck it. I don't really give a fuck anymore. My dad. You know what I mean? And like, there's this battle that he's fighting with God because like he went all wrong, narcissistic woman to experiment with energy, and that has a lot to do. That's my ex parents, basically, you could say, because I got adopted in Christ. So basically, I mean, not that I wasn't christened. I'm just saying that I was adopted into the family of Christ. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. So basically, it's like because I was always born an empress. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and act like like I'm not like nepoed in a situation because yeah, I'm nepoed. I also was the one who gave myself the inheritance. Could you imagine? I left the inheritance for myself. Could you imagine that? So, um, basically, um, the situation. I mean, I never said you couldn't do it too, and that's why I'm telling you how to do it. You don't want to do it; it's not my business. So like from a very young age, subservient whore that wouldn't learn their lesson, and I was never treated like, hi, love. Like, we're gonna learn our ABCs today. Okay, this is A, B, C. Like, I was never treated like that. No, it was a smack. You're gonna learn the alphabet today, like, kind of situation. And like, I would be like glitching out, like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's that's the energy I was in for half my life. You know what I mean? And so like I never like people would like yell at me. Like I remember getting punished so much like to learn something like, and they were like, this is how they're gonna learn it forever. And it's like till today, like there's certain things that I just can't fucking figure out because of the traumatic impact on my neurological system that's why I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been trying to unlike myself if I didn't have some sort of traumatic impact to my nervous system. Realize this or something. It's like maybe if I had been treated like the person that I am, that I wouldn't, feel so, you know what I mean, strongly about so many people that have done these kinds of things to me, But that's kind of like it's just they don't want to accept that energy. I don't know, for some reason they don't want to accept that that's how they've put themselves out there in the world. That's how they appear in the world. You know what I mean? And especially through innocent eyes, it's like, you know what I mean? There's just no other way to see it. It's only one way. Like when a child sees you and you're being a fucktardian, you're for is about vision. When you see a fucktardian, it's like that's so raven. You know what I mean? You start like perceiving shit through like maybe their lens instead of your eyes. You see what I mean? So then like it's like a weird boop. I don't know how to explain it. It's like you see how they would like reality to be instead of how you see it. Like it's weird. It's like you're no longer seeing from your perspective. You're seeing from their idea of what they want. Like their desires, seeing through their desires rather than through your perspective. You see what I'm talking about now? And so like yeah, sure, it can be very like protectionist of you to see through their desires because then you can actually acknowledge what you like, what you don't like, what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and whether or not you would want to be there or not. But then you also have to get back to your perspective, right? Which is where the whole thing about discipline occurs, where it's like, okay, this is a lot of people will also like say, oh, you're knowing yourself again, you're knowing. No, I'm getting back to myself. That's a whole different experience, right? Once you know yourself, you know yourself, there's nowhere to go from that. But when you're getting back to yourself, right, that's already you seeing from your own perspective situations, right? So when you're seeing things through their desires, it's like a fucktarian world, right? So this happens all the time, a lot, especially since I'm very sensitive, where it's like the world is an evil. You see the world is so evil is because you're evil. That's the thing. Like if you weren't evil, you wouldn't see the world as an evil place. That's the reality of the situation, right? So this is where it's like when you think about it now from God's perspective, when how he's written it, is that he says that yes, maybe you shouldn't love the world, but he does, right? Is that a thing? Didn't God say that he loves the world, right? I want to make sure that that's what's been written, okay? Because, like, these perspectives. I mean, sometimes I'll be seeing things through other people's perspective, and the Bible just doesn't look the same anymore. Like, I swear, it's like a whole different book. I'm like, what the heck? So it's like, like I really have to like configure myself, like, like you know what I mean, in a situation. So. Okay, so не любите мира, не того, что в мире. Не любите мира, не того, что в мире. Если кто-то любит мир, и том нет любви Отца. В том нет любви Отца. Ибо все, что в мире, похоть плоти, похоть очей и гордость житейская не есть от Отца, но от мира. This is too much, this is too much. Окей, не любите мира, не того, что в мире. Не любите мира, не того, что в мире. Не того, что в мире. Кто любит мир, в том нет любви от очей. Ибо все, что мы в мире, похоть плоти, похоть очей и гордость житейская, не есть от Отца, но от мира сего. Okay. Ибо так возлюбил Бог мир, что отдал Сына Своего единородного, дабы всякие верующих в Него не погиб, но имел жизнь вечную. Okay, so what I'm grasping is that there is gives to не любите мира, не того, что в мире любит мир. Hold on one second before I flip this card for you guys. Oh, it's his friendship. Okay, we already saw it. Let's see. So, не любите мира, не того, что в мире. Если бы вы были свое и не сообразуете с веком сим, дружба с миром есть вражда против Бога. There it is. Okay. Якова. Слава Вишних Богу is, okay, so that's the one that we're reading now. That's one. So Jacob 4:4. Okay, let's see. Прелюбодей и прелюбодеец. Не знаете ли, что дружба с миром есть вражда против Бога? Итак, кто хочет быть другом миру, тот становится врагом Богу. Basically, you adulterous people, do you not know that friendship with the world is an enmity with God? Whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. You know, I'm starting to get suspicious here. Wait. Adulterous people, friendship with the world? What's going on? What's going on? Give me a second. Мир оставлю вам, мир мой даю вам. Не так, как мир дает, я даю вам. Да не смущайтесь сердце ваше, да не устрашайтесь. Слава Иси, слава в вышних Богу и на земле мир. В человеках благоволение. И мир Божий, который превыше всякого ума, соблюдает сердце ваше и помышления ваши во Христа Иисуса. И сказал ему Иисусу: истинно говорю тебе, ныне же будешь со мной в раю. Был восхищен в рай и слышал неизречение слова, которое человеку нельзя приказать. Побеждающему дам вкушать от древа жизни, Ну вот. Которая посреди рая Божия. Shalom. Ya Baruch atah Adonai. Wait, it was just Friday, right? Baruch atah Adonai. Melech atah Adonai. Mitzvah banu. Yeah. Wait. Am I tripping? Like what? Why is there friendship here? Why is there friendship here? Holy Spirit. What is that friendship? Live and learn. Yeah, it's a karmic energy. It's like there are friends with there are people who are friends with the world, of the world, of the world, friends of the world. It's making sense. It's making sense. It's making sense. Yeah, they're friends of the world. You see what I'm saying now? But they're not one with peace in paradise with God. It's the the as above is not as belowing for them. Yeah, it's giving that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to see. They're coming off as a disturbance. Also, like I mentioned before, there are these individuals who irritation supernatural. It's like coming off like they think they're coming off like seductive or temptation like, but the reality is like to me it doesn't is not like that at all. From like I said, from in an innocent eye, it's not like that at all, right? So it's like there are also some things that I don't see through the desires of, just to protect my own sanity. So this is like wearing glasses, right? So this is like to protect one's vision, right? It's like that energy. Rather than using glasses to see better, I use glasses to protect vision. You see what I mean? So it's like goggles, wearing goggles, right? So that's what I mean. Yeah. Steampunk energy. Let's go. Talking boots. Boots. Yeah, triumph in reverse. Exactly. Live and learn. Upright with triumph in reverse right there. Yeah. So it's like, and this is something that they were trying to teach me as well. This is like someone else trying to teach me this. This is the person who would see like help the reader, help with like the lifestyle stuff. And it's like they were mentioning you have to see like someone like a narcissist as someone like, you know what I mean, like a stepping stool, like rather than that, like, you know what I mean, which is honestly the way of Christ, right? So like I was like, okay, well, let me pass easily, right? And it's like, but the way that they put it into words was that like really seeing them as a catalyst, which sure, I wouldn't call, like if they had been like, see what I would call a catalyst, right? If I was to see them as a catalyst, which is what I was trying to explain, if I were to see them as a catalyst, it would be like me taking steps up and they would be like a trap door. You see what I mean? Like, and if I see them that way, like a trap door, sure. Like, and I'm walking up the stairs, I would also know that that step would cause me to fall through, which is right? It would be the only time that I would skip steps, is because there would be certain steps put there. This is also giving me, have you guys played that game, Catherine? I love that game. It's also giving me like the game Catherine, because that's like one of the perfect explanations of like what it is that I'm experiencing and when it comes to that disturbance of that person, right? It's like, especially with adulteress. Do you see the gnat? Did you see that fucking gnat? Gosh, man, it's pissing me off. So it's like It's literally right here. It's like really pissing me off. So what'd you call it? It's like what'd you call it? It was like trying to like adult being friends of the world, right? You see what I'm talking about? It's so like we're gonna keep going because this is about purifying the vision, and so it's like I get like yeah, like they have a very big desire. Okay, so they have this desire. So I'm just gonna mention it. There's individuals who desire me being homeless real bad, but this isn't something that's new to me at all. At all, not one bit. This is new to me. This is not new at all to me. I've been experiencing that energy for lifetimes, right? Especially being who I am. Like if you look back on the deity Isis history, right? Readiness, right? If you look back, this because this is what we're waiting for. By the way, this is what I was trying to explain. So first we'll take a step back. So what I was trying to say was that like what would you call it? There was this like energy like that I was trying to bring up. So it's like the song that I'm trying to bring up is like I get up when I'm ready, I stay calm and steady, I keep waiting for the motion of my mind. So let me I get up when I'm ready, I stay calm and steady, I keep waiting for the motion of my mind. So let me have my way. Take me where the take me where the river flows. On my way, nobody knows. Let me have my way. It gets sweeter as it goes. On my way, nobody knows. I get up when I'm ready, I stay calm and steady. I keep waiting for the motion of my mind. So let me. And this is a really good manifestation tool as well. Okay? Because it's about like allowing yourself to get prepared, right? It's like there's a lot of the energy of panic and trying to project panic and trying to stop there being acceptance of preparedness. So there's a difference between once you're prepared, you're accepting the fact that you're prepared. This is also something that like my family had gone through as well, like my on my mom's side, but like my grandfather and my aunties and my uncles. Before we travel, we'll always pray, right? Before we travel, we'll always pray. Um, we always make sure to do a prayer so for safe travels and everything like that. Maybe that's what people were trying to bring up for the longest time, whether it be on a car ride or a car trip, a plane trip, whatever it was. See how God makes things just so much easier. Like God really does make everything so much more merciful, so much more easier. Like honestly, He brings so much mercy into my life. You are the most merciful. Bismillah. Astaghfirullah. So basically, it's like it's like you under you when you're going on a long journey, a long trip, you always we always pray and stuff like that. We always pray. Um, but there used to be sometimes like where my grandfather or like my great aunt or like whatever it was would like stop us before we were like because they would be like no, let's do it again. Like sometimes we'll pray and then we'll be like wait, and then we'll pray again and then we'll wait, and it was like all the kids were like can't we just go like and like no, we're not ready yet, like we're not ready yet, right? We're almost ready, right? I don't know what kind of shamanic family I got, like, but like, but that's just what we do, right? So this is like the energy of like we can keep like, and this is something that somebody else did as well, like the person who was like in the energy of like, oh, like why are you waiting? It might work for them. It might work for them. Like it might work for them to just get up and go, right? So I'm not like this is also another energy that that someone is projecting on them, which is not fair on them at all. It's not fair on them at all. Okay. But basically it's like um what'd you call it? Some people like it works for, right? Some people it works for, right? Some people it doesn't. Yeah, there's good news. You see what I mean? It works for them, right? Like there's not everybody, but you this is where you really got to understand, right? Like like there are people who will not, they're less likely to make mistakes, right? In their own energy. Like that's just the truth, right? I'm just this thing is really on my nerve. But then there are other people like me who we gotta really like get prepared, get ready, take our time. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like feel so much entitlement over our time. So this is something that I went through going through with my like narcissistic parent, right? And it was that like it would be that like as I was getting ready, like, or as I was doing something, like, as I was doing something, like, to get ready for something, to be prepared, that they were genuinely just not letting me get ready because they wanted all my time. They wanted to take advantage of my time. Like I said, it's like, you see what I'm saying now? We're back to this energy right here, right? Triumph in reverse, that's them. Like they've lost their pieces on the board, but they're still trying to play. I've already gotten the majority of the board and they keep trying to put more game boards. They're like, "No, you're not winning until you get a majority of that game." And I'm winning in the energy. I'm winning, but they still want to place their stones. I'm like, you we only have so many stones. We're almost out of stones. And they're like, "No, bring in more stones, bring in more boards. I've got to get majority. I got to." And that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's very much time wasting. Like they won't let a game end. And it's like that. It's like they won't let a game end. It's so weird. It's like that's the narcissism. That's basically the whole thing about narcissism. That's the false like prophecy, false premonition energy. That's where they're getting the false premonitions from, is because that they are forcefully attempting to cause a continuance on something that isn't supposed to be continued versus like them accepting an ending. You see what I mean? And they've been cited like a lot. They've been cited a lot. And so this is it. It's like this is it. This is the end now. So it's like they because like there's yeah it's yeah exactly here it is. So readiness, imagination, it's now here, right, where manifestations are coming through as the game has ended, like whatever it was like. But exactly, see, trap in reverse. Like you see, remember what I was telling you, skipping a step, and then now we skipped a step, right, and now we're here, the parent energy, right? You see what I mean? Patron support. And that's what it is that they don't want there to be an imagination about. They don't want there to be a manifestation. But that's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on actually manifesting that. I'm actually focused on manifesting support. I'm actually focused on manifesting. I'm actually focused on being a parent and supporting parenthood, right, for people and others, right? This is the energy that I'm in. This is they don't want. This is what, so they're an enemy to parenthood. Now we understand what they are, right? Now we get it, right? Now we understand what they are. Now we get it. Yep, there they go. Right, marriage in reverse. I knew it, and we already saw marriage upright. Yep, they've been cited multiple times. That's some scary. First of all, that's a lot. Like it's like, have you ever seen those videos of like, oh, acid burn? Yeah, that looked like acid burn. That looked like acid burn. Yeah, it was giving acid burn. It's a sick ass motherfucking name for a band. Hold up. Acid burn. I'm gonna have to write that down. Acid burn. That's a good one. Hold on. Let me write that down because that's really good. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. Give me a second. Fuchsia, no. No. Okay, sorry. So we got acid burn. Not that we got acid burn, but I'm saying we got the power. Hey, I got the power. All right. So, yeah, definitely um clearing out, purifying the energy. I feel like this is so good. This energy is so good. Also, acid burn would be so sick. for an EDM group, like or like a little rock band or something. Like, oh my gosh, both me. I'm claiming it. Hey, like this is a good. I'm taking it. Like this is so good. Like I'm not gonna miss this opportunity, right? So basically, patron support and parenthood in the energy, right? And so whatever it was, kind of like lesson that had to be learned, it wasn't our lesson to learn. Like that's why it's coming up, like why they're there, because it's like they're trying to. So these cars right here are like they're like there it's like a infiltrator. It's like a hidden, what'd you call it, you know what I mean? It's like their stone, but they painted it a different color, you know what I mean? So that they would go, so that when you put water on the board, like psh, it's like, aha, I actually won the, you know what I mean? But we already saw through that shit like a billion times, right? So like like, so that's what I'm saying in a situation. That's why they're like so pissed in this. Yeah, exactly. Real estate in reverse, saving in reverse. Yeah, there's this like energy where they were projecting like some sort of like insecurity. I guess I guess that's an insecurity, right? They were projecting some sort of insecurity or scarcity. So it's an energy of scarcity from wrongdoing. Okay, so it's not scarcity as a divine test, it's scarcity as wrongdoing. There's a difference between scarcity as a divine test and scarcity as wrongdoing, because it's like some people are in low positions in their life because that they've never been in that position ever in their soul's journey, or and that's just what they have to do in their lifetime to be able to learn a particular lesson and move on. And then there's people who are in a scarce position in their life because they've made terrible decisions in their life, and now they can't move forward, you know what I mean, in their life and destiny, because they haven't paid off the karma or karmic debt, or that they're learning the lesson about why it is that they're in that position, not in a better position where they could have been. You know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, there's like the energy of them, I don't know. There's I'm not really sure why it's coming out in the reading yet, but it is coming out that there is a manifestation of patronhood and support for the collective. Okay. And there's also where the collective can show their support for parents and parenthood. You know what I mean? This is so good. This is such a great experience. I love supporting parents. You know what I mean? Like, I love supporting children. I love supporting parents. I love supporting people who take care of their children. I love supporting people who care about life and love to live their life to the best of their ability. You know what I mean? I love watching people thrive and grow and persevere. It's just what I love to do, right? It's a part of who I am, right? It just brings so much. I'm still like, because I've said this so many times, right? But I haven't like, I'm yet to like get to do it. Like, you know what I mean? I've only done it a couple times, like with UNICEF. I was able to support a whole bunch of families. I was able to support a whole bunch of families when it came to like Duke of Edinburgh. And like I was able to support a whole bunch of families when it came to like orphanages. I was able to support a bunch of families when it came to like, yeah, like some orphanages, as well as like different families in the community that I lived in Nigeria. There was also some support, like, so when it came to embassies, right? When it came to some embassies, there were some communities that I was able to support, like in the Russian embassy, in the Ukrainian embassy, in the Argentinian embassy. Like I was able to support families there as well. And so, like, for example, now if I want to be able to help Palestinian children, that is also something I would really like to get into. But obviously, I would have to get way closer. I can't do it from here. I have to get real close. That's how I do it personally. I don't do things from afar when it comes to patron and parental support. I do things real up close and personal. That's just how I am. Um, whereas that energy seems to not like appreciate that. I don't know what it is. They don't enjoy that. It's like I said, there are some things that work for certain people, and then there's other things that just don't work the same way. And they're like very, like, I don't know, they're very impeding. Like they're big on impeding on people who find their way in life or something. It's something like that. I don't know. Why is this coming out in the reading, Holy Spirit? Because like they're super intrusive. That's what it is. Yeah, because they're trying to like dismiss a blessing. Yeah, and first of all, you're forgiven if that's what is needed, collective. And also, Heavenly Father, whatever forgiveness that has to be begotten by me, I'm giving it to you now so it may be shared amongst the heavens. Because I do not know what it is that people are apologizing for right now, but I'm definitely forgiving, okay? But I don't know what it is with this origin in reverse. That's what it is. So that's what it is. That's why they're coming out in the reading. I put up boundaries upon that energy also. I what would you call it? Cited. I cited it. So it's like origin is coming through, yeah, loneliness in reverse with loneliness. Oh, I see why the apology is here. So it's more so like a wow. That's so messed up. I had no idea it was like that. Well, that just makes things so much fucking easier. That makes things so much easier. I had no idea. I had no idea that that person, like my parent, like or my parents, like hated me personally. Like I thought that they were like that towards everyone or like anyone. That's why I'm also motherfucking like weird to people, isn't it? I'm such a black sheep, huh? Like I came off so fucking weird to people. That's why. Because like they didn't see that side of the person. Well, duh. Why would they show anyone else that if they were trying to specifically make me feel that way, right? That's, I mean, okay. So, so that's what it is now. There's protests. Okay, so like now it's being seen. So that's pretty fucking wild. So there was just like some sort of particular personal like vengeance that what do you call that? Spite? A personal spite. What is that? Like a vengeance energy. What is that personal spite and vengeance? What is that called? Like a like I said, dislike. What's a personal spite like vengeful energy towards a one particular person, like an enemy kind of. So it's like, I don't know what that's called. I'm a grudge, vendetta, rancor. Okay, I'm gonna have to charge my phone. 1 second. Not animus. Oh my gosh. That actually, I had no idea that that was that what that word meant at all. Not an animus. Hostility, blood feud, resentment, vindictive. Sorry, give me a second. Rancor. Rancor is more like that, like rancor. Vindictiveness, rancor. Rancor is more like it. Rancor. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. A rotting or festering thing. Hatred and bitterness is like a wound festers, decays inside. Exactly. A deep, long-lasting bitterness and resentment towards someone. That's what it is. A rancor. That's what it is. Rancor. And like, that's it. Like people were like they were projecting such rancor towards me, and it was like blocking so much, and it was doing so much in my life. Like that rancor, I put up boundaries upon rancor. I put up boundaries upon animus, and like I put up boundaries upon harboring grudges. I put up boundaries upon spitefulness. I put up boundaries upon malice. I put up boundaries upon vendetta. I put up boundaries upon animosity. Like there was like, yeah, definitely cited also, wow. Like God really came through clearing that one out. It was such a deep hatred. Like, yeah, loneliness in reverse. Now it's being, yeah, reversed, protest upright, and loss. Yeah, exactly. Bereavement, sorrow, damage. Like, because there was real damage that was done, and now it's healing finally. And this is what's going to cause there to be a purifying of the vision. Okay? Purifying the vision also requires that obviously shadow work is done and all that stuff, right? So, shadow work has just been done. I think, right? Is there any other shadow work that has to be done? Yeah, exactly. Shadow work has been done. This is like a part of the vision, right? So it's like shadow work is done, right? We are moving forward. We're getting what we need. We're getting what we want. It's 11111. It just passed, right? We're moving forward. Our destination is clear. Our goal is apparent. Like our desire is purified. Like we're doing this. We're doing this. We're moving forward, right? And there it is, marionette and live and learn. Exactly. Because this was the real lesson, you guys. This is what I was trying to explain to you guys. This was the real lesson. The real lesson was about how, like, how do I explain this? Reluctance, domination, dictatorship. What is that energy? Holy Spirit with us a little bit much. What was that energy, marionette? What is that for? What does that mean? That's them again trying to do the same thing that they've been doing, but no, it's not working anymore. Yeah, exactly. Endorsement is not working anymore. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a support for patronhood here. Like there's a vision of it, and they're trying to take, like, it's too much. There's an adventure ahead. Like I said, there's stuff that we're doing and we're moving forward. Like the lesson here has to do with, like, I don't think there's a real lesson here. Hold on one second. This is what I'm trying to say. This is that ego again. See that ego? Where it's like an elaborate fucking plan to cover up one's own lack of patronhood. Like it's citing that. Like citing an elaborate plan to hide one's own, like, insincerity. Like that's what it is. It's like an elaborate plan to cover up one's own insincerity. Stress in reverse. That's it. Like loneliness in reverse, stress in reverse, natural disaster. And there it is. And so they're attempting. So you see what I'm saying? It's like a pipeline to a natural disaster. And that's what they were doing. It was like whatever elaborate plan that they were causing, that they were doing, was always causing a natural disaster. It was like an elaborate plan to cause a natural disaster and then act like it was some sort of lesson, like it was God's hand. You see what I'm saying? Risk, frustration, survive. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, so that's another step we have to skip. Right? We got to skip that step because it's a trap, right? So, cited, the vision is becoming clearer and clearer as we speak because it's like whatever rank, I don't. See what I'm saying? Conflict, like whatever rancor, you see what I'm saying? Live and learn pride. You see what I mean? In reverse. You see that I say it's an ego, live and learn, and then blessing. Because that's what it is. We're learning. We're living and learning. This is Dharma now. You see what I'm saying? Fulfillment, well-being, enlightenment, experience, training, development. And that's what you learn. That's what you live and learn through is blessings. You live and learn through blessings. You bring gratitude through your blessings, and then you become a better person through your blessings. And then you are able to materialize and secure your blessings and then utilize those material blessings in order for you to increase and elevate your experience within the human consciousness and then live a better life for you to be able to then ascend in a much more acceptable and humane way. Like that's just how it goes. But yeah, you see, it's like a lot of like, it's very easy to be fulfilled once you understand what fulfills you. Whatever elaborate plan that is to project unfulfillment by causing there to be unfulfillment. You see what I mean? And causing there to be unfulfillment by control. Like, I mentioned this before, but my parents were the type of person, like the type of people, right? The type of individuals where I would be like, they would be like, never put your hand against the hot stove, right? And I'd be like, okay. And I'm obedient. Like, I'm listening. I'm like, okay, I will never do that, right? And they're like, no, you're not getting it. You're not understanding me. And they'll grab my hand and then put it upon a hot stove. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and then I'm looking at them like, why would you do that? Like, you said not to do it. You said it was going to be bad. Like, are you trying to hurt me? You're trying to hurt me. Like, that's immediately what comes to mind. So, like, you're trying to hurt me. You're not actually trying to, like, do anything. You just told me that I would get hurt by it. And then you did it so that I would do. What was that about? And it was like, and then they would panic and then be like, oh, it's because you had to learn to be humble. I shit you not. Like, how would you know that it was really hot if you didn't touch it? I'm like, because you told me. You told me it was hot. It's like, well, you can't just believe what everybody tells you. I'm like, you just proved that it was hot by burning me. Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I was going through. Like, I was going through that all the time. Like, it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter what it was. Like it was all the time. Like, it was like, you better learn math and science and you better do it. I'm like, okay. And like, you better get an A. And I'm like, okay. And then I did it. And then it was like, no. And then they would like do stuff to me so that I would fail. And then be like, ha, you see, this is what you get. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you see what I mean? What's that for? And then they would be like, it's so you can learn how to be strong. I'm like, but that's weakening me. And so now I'm weak as hell. You know what I mean? I'm literally weak as fuck. Like, my credit score is poor, like, going through shit all the time. And it's like, I'm trying to like, and you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm trying to like, I'm trying to use what I've learned to be better, but it's like, that's why I feel like I'm liking myself. It's like, I feel like whatever it is that I've learned, it's just not like they have never been in my position. Like, that's the reality I'm seeing. Like, they've never been in my position, and now they're like, what are you gonna do now, huh? What are you gonna do now that your life is ruined, huh? You had to learn how to be. That's them, like, for real. They're like, you have to learn how to be, so you have to learn how to be like, they don't know what to do anymore. Like, that, they don't know. Like, that's also came out in the other reading. They don't know what to do anymore because they've never been in my position. What the fuck am I supposed to learn from this? You know what I mean? Oh, my parents are assholes and they never really cared about me. Okay. And this is the same thing that people are starting to go through when it comes to me. It's like therapists who think that they're like, or people who think that they know everything about employment really don't, and they're pretending because it's their first day of the job. You know what I mean? Or like people who like, they just really think that they're just meant to be in something, but they're really not belonging in that situation, and they're trying to give me some sort of advice or do something onto me or say something to me that would just, I guess, magically make whatever it is, that I'm going through disappear. And it's just not real. It's not true. It's whenever I'm like, okay, so let's say that is true, and let's say we accept that, then they want to like do the same thing. It's like they're holding some sort of like rancor. That's what it is. It's not just a grudge, bro. It's a rancor. It's like it's their Chiron. It's their Chiron. It's like they're not clearing out their Chiron energy. That's what it is. They're not clearing out their Chiron energy. Yeah, I put up boundaries upon Chiron. They're not clearing out. I put up like, what do you call it? Like, you know what I mean? Also, like, I like, what is it? I put up like, what do you say? I stitch up Chiron. Like, I don't know what to say to the situation. Like, what do you do about Chiron? What is this Chiron energy here? Holy Spirit. Like, yeah, evidence in reverse. See what I'm saying? Because they don't see it, because they fogged up the skies. They don't see Chiron, so they don't think that there's a tear in the universe. They don't, besides tear in the universe, I apologize, not that. They don't see the tear in our galaxy. They don't see it. It's right there. It's Chiron. It's called Chiron. If it's existed for, like, how long has Chiron existed? Let me see. So they're all coming, like trying to come through Chiron energy. So yeah, there we go. It's so annoying. I can't stand that. Yeah. So 2060 Chiron is a real celestial body, small planet-like object. Oh, between an asteroid and a comet. Discovered November 1st, 1977 by Charles Cowell Palmer Observatory. Right. Sure. Right? um, um, 50 years. About 50 years around the sun. So it's a lesson. It takes 50 years for a person's Chiron to go through a progression. Like, so it takes 50 years for them to learn their lesson when it comes to Chiron. Really? So it's about 4.5 billion years old. It's existed for around 4.5 billion years, which is why I'm saying right. Because, yeah, sure, Charles Cowell with the Palomar Observatory was the first person, right? Like, we did ancient astrology for the longest time, right? Like, it's like saying that we had recently, 1920 or 1980 or 1920, discovered Venus for the first time, or like when the first telescope was invented, that's when the people discovered Venus. Like, can we be for real for a second? You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm just gonna keep on going here, okay? We know that it was the ancient Egyptians who, like, even the Incans and Mayans, everybody knew about this. Like, everybody knew about this. But basically, about 4.5 billion years old, right? Basically, real celestial body between Uranus, right? Chiron. So the thing about it is that that's what's causing this right now. So it takes 50 years for someone to not to learn their lesson. You know what I'm talking about now? It's to fully develop, like in their lesson. Like, for example, you to get tested in your Chiron. It takes 50 years for you to get tested in your Chiron. So you know how a lot of like 50 years and 4 months. So you know how usually serial killers seem to get away with it for a very long time, and then in their 50s they're like caught. So you know how there's always these murderers and people like that who just seem to go through shit, and then and around their 50s they're caught. And people are like, oh, it's because of old age. And then why people only say like, oh, but like people have only been living, like why the human like living rate, what is it called again, lifespan nowadays is around 50 to 80, right? Or like 80, right? 50 to 80, right? That's because of that. It's because they get tested. So how long does the test last for Chiron? Well, we know that, what you call it, Saturn, when Saturn's test comes in after 27, right? It lasts about maybe 3 to 7 years, maybe 2 to 7 years. But just because your Saturn return is at 27 doesn't mean that you learn planetary alignment of Saturn, right? Before that. So, like, for example, Jesus Christ proved that he put all his planets in alignment by 33. So he learned all his lessons by 30. That man is, oh, like, honestly. So he learned all his lessons by 33. Like, all the things that you're telling me, like, this is by 33. So the thing about it is that, like, by 27 you get tested, but that doesn't mean you can't move forward, right? That doesn't mean you can't move forward with planetary alignment with your graduate papers already. You see what I'm talking about now? It's like you can learn, and then like you can learn your lesson and then graduate from the test early, but you definitely can't do it late. You see what I'm saying? It's better to do it sooner than later when it comes to these divine tests, right? So, especially while you're young, hey, what'd you call it? So a lot of people, if it takes about 3 to 7 years, that's about, So about 4 years for Saturn. So an average of 4 years, right? Duh, right? Wait, no, that's not it. No, sorry, it's an average of 5 years. My bad. Duh. Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. What the fuck am I doing? You see what I'm talking about now? Y'all, math was actually a nightmare, like doing it, especially with my, like, oh my gosh. Okay, so 5.4. So we'll take. So possibly an average of 9 years, basically. So basically from 50s, from once went from a human life 50 years old to about 59 years old to like around 60 years old, that's when the test finishes, right? So that'll show whether or not someone has turned like that. It basically takes 9 years. We'll say like it this way, right? It takes about 9 years after you turn 50 for your Chiron to get checked. You get checked into the hospital, the spiritual hospital, and the doctor sees you and sees whether or not they gotta amputate or not, right? Well, let's see whether or not you've kept your wound clean. You know, some of us get admitted to the spiritual hospital early at like in our 20s, you know what I mean? Like Jesus and stuff like that, because we already went through our lessons and we learned everything that we had to do and got our admissions. You see what I'm saying now? But in average, it would take about 50 years. You see what I'm talking about now? So it probably was worse in the past. Like maybe it took them like, you know what I mean? And just because you know what I mean, you get admitted in at 50 plus doesn't mean you get checked at 50 plus. Sometimes you end up sterilizing your wound for that entire 9 years, and then you gotta keep doing it and then wait another 50 years before that. And if you don't get checked and you pass your lesson and an admission, and you might have to wait another 50 years, and then another 50 years, and another 50 years, and another 50 years. You see what I'm talking about now? It's kind of like that, right? So, I remember doing this a long time ago. I remember doing this, like, because look, you see? So maybe this is proof. Maybe this is evidence. Maybe they didn't want that to be proof and evidence. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, satisfaction. You see, maybe they didn't want that to be proof and evidence that I was healed in that aspect. Yeah, faith that I was healed in that aspect. Yeah, exactly. See, compromise in reverse. So maybe that's what it is. They were trying to take it as a compromise, but that wasn't it at all. So God really, yeah, maybe that's what another thing is like maybe I got healed in an aspect that I didn't realize, and they were trying to act like it was a compromise or something like that. I don't know what this is. What is this, Holy Spirit? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, why not? Let's keep going. Oh my gosh. Apparently you can just do died. Hopefully it won't die again because now I'm actually charging it and I'm not on my laptop where it can just disconnect and die. So yeah, yay. Also, I'm getting this, y'all. After I stopped smoking, like I get so hungry. But I eat like intermittently. I don't eat like all at once. Like I eat intermittently. I don't like being hungry. But that's another thing. Yeah, because you know it. You know it. You know it. Yeah, let's go. I can have my protein. I need my protein, y'all. My ribs hurt. You guys, I need to make this thing happen. I need to make this thing happen. Okay, I need to make this happen. All right. But basically, there's a loss, bereavement. We're purifying the energy. We're purifying. Okay. Um. Like, jeez. Yeah, death. See what I'm saying? Endless. The energy is whatever it is that they were doing. Like it's death. That's it. It's done. Um. Right. I was asking about the Chiron. So right now, um, I'm trying to see what my Chiron is real quick because I think I remember what it is. Oh, but I'll figure it out right now. Do I have it on here? Beep boop beep boop. Yep, I got it right here. Yeah, first house, ironically. So this is like okay. So I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna see how it is because duh. A lot of tell everybody you're being and I'm like if Satan knows it, right? Right, Chiron. Like at this point, you guys, I think you're not the worst people to know about me, you know? And I think that's what it is. Also, it's like I don't think you guys understand how much God really loves you. Well, maybe that's we just talked about this. We just talked about how God gave his only son to the world and whatever. Yeah? Okay, so can we stop? Okay? Chiron, what'd you call it? It's like actually, can you like relax? Like it's like it's like okay, Chiron, what'd you call it? So it was gonna take 9 years. And technically I basically went like, oh look, an assault where someone was found dead near me. Isn't that funny? How whenever by the apartment, or is it in the apartment? Isn't that funny how when I was literally talking to people and telling people, oh, when I was telling the police, I was like, when someone dies through a call, something like this, it's gonna be on you. That's what I said. They were not trying to take it seriously. Now there's an investigation. Now the FBI has to get involved finally, yeah? Okay, talk. When I was warning you, you don't want to listen. Okay. So basically, it takes about 9 years to heal it, right? Or, sorry, it doesn't take 9 years to heal it. It takes 9 years to really see if it's healed, okay? Because that's, it's like, So basically, I got into this energy, right, of understanding this 2021, right? So, when I'm about 30, right, it would basically be complete, right? But that's not how it works, right? It's that, how do I explain it? The full progression ends when I'm 50. So if you really want to see if it's healed or not, check, like, for example, what happened in 20 BC. Let's look at that. What were major historical differences between the BCE and 50, was it the first century? First century, yeah. Right? Or was it second century? Hold on. Is it 5th century? No, that's 500 years, right? Yeah. First century. So Roman Republic was collapsing through the civil wars between generals like Marius Sulla, Pompey, Julius Caesar, Hellenistic kingdoms, Rome, Persian Empire, da da da. Okay, so then by 50 CE, Roman Empire was firmly established under the Emperor Claudius. 4154 CE, Rome now controlled entirely the entire Mediterranean. Britain was being invaded 43 CE. The Han Dynasty in China was mid-imperial peak under Emperor Guangwu and Ming. I remember this one. Okay, part of the Eastern Han. The Parthian Empire remained Rome's main eastern rival. Global centralized empires were replacing small city-states and republics. Globally centralized empires were replacing smaller city-states and republics. So before BCE, classical world emphasized reason, democracy, philosophy, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Stoics, Epicureans, religions. Yeah, okay, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay. Religions were mostly polytheist, cults of Zeus, Isis, Mithra, okay, etc. Art and architecture idealized balance, proportion, and mythic gods. Okay, the old Greco-Roman gods were still worshipped, but mystery religions like Eastern spiritual ideas, Egyptian and Persian, were spreading mystery religions. You see the difference? So we went from like polytheistic worship, like idolatry, to what'd you call it? Quickly turned into what'd you call it? Mysterious ideology. So like mystery, um, expansion through mystery, right? So Christianity was just emerging. Paul's missionary journeys were happening right around 50 CE. You see what I'm saying? Literally, Paul's missionary journeys were happening right around 50 CE. Judaism was active under Roman occupation, Second Temple period. Stoicism was popular among Roman elites. Philosophy began merging with spirituality. Artistic styles became more realistic and imperial. So what you see what I'm saying? It went from whatever it was to realism. To real. It was real. Okay, everything became much more realistic and imperial. So you have basically what'd you call it? Rome conquers Judea, assassination of Julius Caesar, Augustus becomes first Roman Empire. I don't know why they're fucking giving me all this bullshit right now. But basically humanity had shifted from the world of city-states and classical ideals to global imperial world linked by trade, ruled by emperors, and stirred by earliest ideas of salvation and universal peace. See what I'm saying now? So basically, it's like that's the kind of difference that Chiron healing does, right? Because Jesus is the one who healed Chiron, so like his vibrational frequency of healed Chiron obviously snap people into reality. So you see what I'm saying? My hand energy would have to do with, let's see, I guess it's very similar. Healing self-perception. You see what I'm saying? Reclamation of personal identity. Basically, for me, it would be, yeah, I figured. Basically, misunderstood, different, unlike others, unsure whether or not my presence, body, or self-expression was okay, right? As if I had to heal myself before others would recognize your light. Okay, so this is not, I'm not doing all this, okay? Sorry. I'm not doing this. I'm not going through all this, okay? I'm just gonna review, there it is, okay. Implied self-sacrifice that becomes self-understanding. You see, meant to heal the mirror of self-image. There you go. Learn who I am and is already whole, okay? Lessons unfold through empathy, mystical insight, and gentle art or reflection. Okay, integrated expression, basically help others accept their uniqueness. Your my self-image transforms into teaching tool. Okay, people trust me instinctively. I carry an aura of lived understanding. Okay, so this is like way too fucking like whatever the fuck it is. It's like a lot of that is like, you know what I mean? My wound is visibility, my healing is like, no. Okay, that's not what we're doing. Okay, so this is like no, this is not it. Okay, so what we're gonna really understand about this frequency energy, right? So what is the first? So what is the first house ruler? Okay, and what is the characterism. Okay, so this is gonna help a little bit more. So this is literally, like I said, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so basically, first house, the first house in astrology is your ascendant rising sign. That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay, here's why. This is why I said this is not what we were doing. Okay, so first you look for your ascendant sign, identify the planet that rules the sign. So then, basically, ascendant sign, um, and then the planet that rules that sign. So basically, it's this is why I don't fucking trust this fucking bullshit. Okay, so basically, first house ruler, technically, yeah, ironically, Mars and Pluto. By the way, didn't I just mention that, like I said, I have to come real close. I'm a real close kind of person. I'm an up close person. Pluto's right there next to Chiron, by the way, next to my Scorpio sign. Right, like that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm like this close. Like 10, I'm literally 2 degrees away. Like it's literally 2 degrees away. Like we're not fucking around up in this bitch. Okay, so basically, so Scorpio, we're talking about Mars. Pluto energy is right there. So Pluto is literally 2 degrees away. Basically, I'm transformation. I don't know why it's giving me all these affirmations. Okay, don't give me any more affirmations. Don't give me any more affirmations. Okay. And so like I don't know why they're giving me all these fucking dumbass affirmations. So basically, first house ruler is the planet that rules the ascendant sign, represents how I express identity and approach life. Placement sign and house shows how the personality operates. So my ascendant is Scorpio, basically traditional ruler, Mars, modern co-ruler Pluto. Pluto is also in my first house energy, which is next to what you call Chiron energy. Okay, so Pluto though is a different sign. Okay, so Pluto and my Chiron are two in a different sign, but my ascendant is in a whole different sign as well. So Pluto has what character? Yeah, whatever it was is incited. Yeah, they're super annoying. Like, okay. Um. Okay. Okay, so basically, um, I didn't ask for a non-affirmative breakdown. I asked just so that they don't get. Ugh. You see how it's like fucking fighting me? I'm like, it's crazy. So Pluto governs transformation, destruction, and regeneration. It operates by breaking down what is weak or false, then rebuilding stronger structures. It works beneath the surface, psychological, emotional, and social, and often brings power struggles, control issues, or renewal after crisis. Ironically, do you see what I'm talking about now? Okay, Chiron governs wounding and healing. It operates by exposing a persistent vulnerability. You see what I'm saying now? And never fully disappears. That never fully disappears, but becomes a source of wisdom. It acts through personal suffering that teaches awareness, compassion, and problem solving in others. So first house governs selfhood, physical body, and the way person acts and appears. It operates in the starting point of identity, how life is approached and initiated, planets placed. Their shape, personality, expression, and behavior patterns visible to others. So basically, in short, let me explain to you guys what this really means. It's what appears visible to me, okay? It's what appears visible to me, okay? What is being done to me that makes me who I am, that by what I react and how I react to it, okay? Not how other people see who I am based off of what they think I am by what they think that I should be doing and shouldn't be doing, okay? That's not how it works, okay? Like I said, it's selfhood, physical body, the way a person acts and appears, okay? It's the way I act and appear, okay? It's not how you think I act and appear. It's not how you think you decide, how you think that you believe, as if that you think that you see and what you believe. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with anybody else. It has to do with my own jurisdiction over self. You see what I'm saying? My own identity in the world. You see what I mean? It's my own experience, okay? It's my firsthand experience with reality. That's the first house, okay? It's your firsthand experience with reality, okay? It's not like, you know what I mean? All that rest of bullshit, okay? So then with Chiron and Pluto there for me, basically it's it's that I personally experience, okay, the breaking down of what is false and weak, okay? I personally experience this, right? And then I personally got to rebuild stronger structures. You see what I mean? I personally, in the physical, in the 3D world, in this real life, in this real how we live in this real life, in this real world on this planet, you know, I got to personally do it myself. You see what I'm saying now? So like, where people would be like, metaphorically explaining, like that's why I said it's like a face-to-face kind of situation with me. You see what I'm saying? When I perform something, I'm really performing it. There's an actual orb in my hand. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. like it's a real physical experience that I get with this within this reality. Like the same way Jesus can do like this and turn the water into wine is the same way that I experience reality. To me, like I'm on that. I'm like, I just want to know how in the like how did you do that, like, and that's what I'm personally, I'm still asking God. I'm still there, like, please mentor me. I'm still trying to ask, like, because it's like it would make things so much more like moldable for me to, like, you know what I mean, like do things. But obviously I would have to, like, there's other things that I gotta know, which I'm gonna get into later, because right now I gotta heal what I gotta heal, okay? Which also shows you, like, he really did heal his Chiron. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This water is so good. Okay. So basically, then when it comes to Chiron, it's like exposing a persistent vulnerability that never fully disappears but becomes a source of wisdom. Okay. God is the source of wisdom for me, right? God is my source of everlasting wisdom, right? So, but when it comes to, like, I don't like the way that I don't like the way that it's worded at all. Like, so, like, I don't like the way that it's worded at all. How do I explain this? Oh, you see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't ask for how it governs it. I said how it operates. Yeah, you see what I mean? I can't fucking make this up, y'all. Yeah, I love how it's telling me what I said. Like, here's how it operates, meaning the mechanism by which it acts in the chart or life pattern. No shit, Sherlock. That's exactly what I'm asking. Like, holy crap. Like, literally. So, Pluto operates through pressure and exposure. It intensifies conditions until hidden weaknesses or attachment collapses. Once collapse occurs, it reconstructs what remains into a more durable or authentic form, works slowly through deep instinct, crisis, obsession, or power dynamics. Its process is purging, breakdown, regeneration. Okay? Chiron. Okay? So the purging is occurring right now, right? Or this is my purging moment, okay? This is my purging moment. Then within by this time tomorrow, right? By this time tomorrow, I would be in the same effect of breakdown, right? It's gonna be a lot. But then ironically, by the next day, because this I know myself, but like I said, this first house energy, by Monday, say Saturday, right? By Monday, I would be in the energy of regeneration. But then it starts again where I'm like gonna be purging, and then it's gonna be even faster. So it's gonna be within this 24 between the 24 hours, and then breakdown regeneration the same day. And then the same thing again, Tuesday, purging, breakdown, regeneration. By the time I have court, I should be. I'm just gonna be getting used to it. Like, it should be within the same like hour or minute. But first, I would have to clean out, make sure that Chiron is exposure, insight, teaching, and healing. Okay, so basically, that makes it so much easier to explain. See, operates through contrast between injury and awareness. Basically, exposure is like you got the wound, but it's covered. It's a covered wound, right? You're not gonna keep your wound fucking exposed forever, right? That's not how it works, right? If you want to heal, you gotta make sure that you put up your bandage. It's like a bandage. It's like an eternal bandage that you got. You gotta cover up your wound, right? Keep it nice and tight, and then when the time is right, you gotta. You see, and this is what I'm saying here. Look, you see, operates through contrast between injury and awareness. It keeps a particular area of life sensitive, prompting reflection and learning. It triggers situations that reopen the wound until understanding replaces reaction. Healing occurs not by removal of the pain, but by integration, recognizing the function of the wound. You see what I'm saying now? The function of the wound is to hurt. Like, that's it. You see what I'm saying now? That's why it's not really explaining the physics behind the understanding of why Chiron is existed in that frequency. The reality of the situation is that wound isn't healed until when the wound is healed, when Chiron is healed after when you're 50 plus, that's when it's healed, it's complete, right? For sure. Or you're gonna have to keep on fucking rebandaging yourself for the next hundreds of thousands of years. But the reality of the situation is that what do you do when you've already understood and you've healed your Chiron, right? That means that you can allow your wound to be a scar. So instead of Chiron being the wound, it can be a scar. You know what I mean? But the problem is this aspect of Chiron I know this is based off of what people think Chiron is. I know it's not real. It triggers situations that reopen the wound until understanding replaces reaction. You see what I mean? So think about it. Think about it. Remember, it's like when you get stabbed, the lesson isn't, oh yeah, whatever. No, because that's still a reaction. No reaction can still be a reaction. You know what I mean? Not like, aha, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? It's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like this is the ego. That's the ego about it. You see what I'm talking about? That's the ego. The I don't know. It's like some sort of pride or something. And it's like, it's really annoying because the reality of the situation is that even if a situation is triggered, it doesn't mean that the wound has to be reopened. It can be that there is already protection. You see? Like, I don't have to keep fucking, I don't have to keep fucking, you know what I mean? No one has to keep opening this so that I would understand that there's a scar there. You know what I mean? Like, who has to see that it's a scar there? I know it's a scar. I'm the one who healed it. God is the one who healed it. So it's a scar. Obviously, it has to be other people. You see what I'm saying now? Obviously, it's for others. You see? So it's like the insight of understanding the exposure of the scar rather than the reopening of the wound. Like, Jesus doesn't have to get crucified 10,000 billion times to teach the same lesson over and over. No, he already went through it once. I think that's enough. You see what I'm saying? He can show people the scar, right? He can show. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's what I'm trying to say. He can show people the scar, and that would be enough. That would be enough. You see what I mean? Isn't that enough? You know what I mean? That would be enough. But then it's like, because this would be integration. So the whole purpose of this is that they don't want to close their wounds. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Holy Spirit, Heavenly Father. They don't want to close their wounds. That's what it is. They don't want to close up their wounds. Those individuals. They don't want to close up their wounds. They don't want to actually heal them. They don't want to acknowledge they're bleeding all over the place, basically. And they're trying to blame it on others when that's just not the reality. You know what I mean? But then it's like, yeah. And the wound is like festering. That's why the rancor is there. That's a piece of information. You know what I'm talking about? Now I see it. Now I get it. Like I said, that's not my fault. This is like, so I know why she can't stand me, obviously. She definitely can't stand me because I know why she can't stand me. But like I said, that's not my fault at the end of the day. There's literally, that's just not my fault, bro. That's just not my fault. Like, I don't know what to say. It's just not my fault. Um, him on the other hand, that's different. Um, yeah, now there's readiness. Okay. So that's it. That's what it was that they were trying to like do to me and all that jazz. That's pretty wild. So now there's preparation, readiness, and all that jazz. Now I get it. Now I know why. I didn't really understand for the longest time, but yeah, now I know why. Like, y'all, this is some crazy ass shit, bro. That's why. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you see what I mean? Bully obstruction. You see what I mean? Bully obstruction. They're gonna get ran over, like, like, that's insanity. No wonder they're so pissed. That's insanity. Yeah, look at it. They're getting caught up. Okay, so now they're getting caught up. Now they're getting cited. Now they're being caught up. Now they're, yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, look, confession. Like, so finally a confession has been made. Right. I was ready for that confession. The forgiveness is here. That's some crazy ass nonsense. They literally wanted me to go through what they went through and acted like I would be. Like, so this is the part. Yeah, overload in reverse with endorsement in reverse. They thought that I would be forever like scarred like this. Like I would see this kind of like my scar as some sort of like, unlike this one, right? With this one is different. This is like, that's like, this is like assault. You see what I'm talking about? Whereas this is completely different. How do I explain this? Maybe I'm to see this too as the same kind of lesson. Maybe I hadn't learned the lesson. You know what I mean? Maybe it was like, but comparatively it was better. I bled about pretty much the same. Maybe it's about the bleeding everywhere. I remember saying I was bleeding everywhere. You know what I mean? Blaming it, but then blaming, that actually makes a lot of sense. You see what I'm saying? So that was like, but that's a part of what I do. It's not a, what'd you call it? Chiron thing. It's a Pluto thing. You see, because it's in the same house. You see what I'm talking about now? You see what I'm saying now? And it's like people wanted to take advantage of the intimacy between God and the world, which is why they're coming out as adulterers. You see what I'm saying now? Because they wanted to take advantage of the intimacy between God and the world. You see what I'm saying? This is a whole different thing. Yeah. What is this about? Yeah, because then that makes a lot of sense. Like, wow. But at the same time, it's like, how can I? Because like Pluto, here it is. So Pluto operates through pressure and exposure. It intensifies conditions until hidden weaknesses or attachment collapses. Once collapse occurs, it reconstructs. So it's about learning, basically. By the way, work slowly through deep instinct. This is another thing. You see it right here, where I was saying like what I'm going through and people trying to cause me to panic and all this stuff. It worked slowly through deep instinct, crisis, obsession, or power dynamics. You see what I mean? Slowly. It's a very slow planet, especially in the placement where it's at, in the first house, one of the fastest houses. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm already speeding up my Pluto faster than it really could have been, right? With how it is, right? And people like it's yeah, so operates through immediate expression. You see what I mean? Immediate expression. Immediate expression. So whatever is immediately expressed, so it has to come through by my like transdermal. You see what I mean? It has to be literally transdermal. It literally has to be like my hair, like dyeing my hair. You see what I mean? Acts as an interface between inner being and outer world. You see, energy of any planet here becomes visible and behaviorally automatic, responds instantly without deliberation. It is instinctive rather than reflective. Its process is perception, reaction, presentation. You see what I'm talking about now? This is why it's why I'm like presenting. You see what I mean? I'm presenting here. So let's say like my stuff with when it came to like Only and everything like that, right? My cam girl season, my cam girl phase. When it came to stuff like that, it was like, let's see what that was like, okay? So it would be first it would be like Pluto coming through, the lesson of Pluto, right? This is where it was that was what it was that they kept on trying to do. They try to ruin that aspect of me. But then now I'm healing that aspect of me, right? That God is, yeah, literally, like I said, is providing me. And that's them trying to disturb that intimacy. You see what I'm saying? Because they think that they have friends of the world. You see what I mean? They think that they're friends of the world. They think that the world wants to be a friend of theirs. You see, that's the greed, that's the adultery. They think that the world is obsessed with them. They want that energy. You see what I mean? They're trying to cause there to be premonitions of these disasters, natural disasters that would occur if that they're, you know what I mean, not perceived as a friend of the world. Like if they're not perceived as someone who, would you call it, is like a friend of the world, like as if the world is wanting to be exactly with no evidence. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to, this is where they're trying to claim that there's no evidence, but it just got disconnected. So I just wanted to tell you guys that that's what it was. See what I'm saying? They're trying to act like it's fate. No, it's injustice. That's what I'm trying to show you guys right there. You see what I'm saying? So that's how the injustice manifests. It comes through as that. You see what I'm saying? So now that you guys are seeing, like, for example, you guys are watching my expression through video, right? So it becomes a part of me, right? Because that's the integrity, that's the integral, or that's the integration of like the reality we live in and my expression of my reality through the reality we all live in, right? Through the world. My expression of my reality through the world, first house energy, right? So you guys are seeing my channel, you guys are seeing like, oh, what the fuck's going on here, right? Like that's what it is. So you see how there's like a whole different wound, right? So it's like multiple layers of reality that are being healed, right? And there's an awareness of this, and there's an exposure of this, right? Of like what's occurring and how it's occurring, and where it's being triggered, right? And how sensitive it really is. And the insight that's being learned about it, the insight about it is like more so understanding the so this is where the insight is understood. Okay, this is a lot, y'all. This is a lot because it's like Chiron healing, right? It's basically all about abuse of abundance, right? Abuse of abundance. So where there's like abundance, right, in the situation, like here, right, that the injury, right, or the scarring, or because this would be me integrating the scarring, right? This is very impersonal. It's just not giving. It's like yeah, now it's Pluto energy. So this energy, so this is like Pluto energy. It's purging. Okay, so this is a purging energy. Like I said, we're purging. And then now, you see what I'm saying? What time is it? So it's 23:33. I couldn't make this up. So now, like I said, it's already moving faster than I told you guys. So we're already in the breakdown energy. So the breakdown here, Jesus, I need your help, Holy Spirit. Like, how can I really explain this? Like, how is this operating? So we're basically doing this to build a more authentic version of what it's supposed to be, right? Because what was exposed in the past was the what was it that was being exposed in the past? Because I honestly don't even know how to explain this, because that's where the robbery is coming from. Because, yeah, like, I don't even know how to explain this. Yeah, so Seven of Wands in reverse, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So it's like a rushing, non-protected, unprepared energy. So readiness energy, not ready. So something that wasn't ready, unripe, something that was unripened. So basically it's um basically barbaric is what I'm saying. See, emperor, barbarism. Yeah. So is that the lesson? Because like I feel like the overall thing has to do with barbarism, like barbaric energy is cause like, yeah, that's like the main problem, right? So what was it again? Well, hunger, right? One who is hungry will truly be. This is something like, okay, one who is hungry will truly be. Let's just say fed, right? One who is hungry will truly be fed, but it's just very barbaric energy. I think there was I think that's just what it is. I think that's what it is. Yeah, moving on. That's what it is. Now I can heal. Yeah, there was something that was rejected. What was rejected? Yeah, barbarism. Wasn't that rejected? Barbarism. Yes. Now it's making sense. Now it's making sense. See, now I can understand it. Because people would be barbaric and then they would compare barbaric energy to animalistic, and then they would act as if that was the same. When in reality, animals aren't really barbaric. They're animals. You see what I mean? But humans aren't animals. That's a we also do not support Darwinism up in this is a family channel. We do not do Darwinism here. Okay. So as much as you like it, it's just unprincipled, okay? Yeah. So we're gonna like this is the thing about it, right? Yeah. So this is wow, it was just a lot. What is this? Why is it all in reverse? Because I know I turned this upside down. Wait. Okay. So that was a lot. What'd you call it? I need to reset my deck. I need to reset my deck. So basically, what'd you call it? Yeah, I have to reset my deck alignment because it is aligned. It's okay. We're good. Now it's upright. So basically, there was a lot of barbarism. There was a lot of projection of barbarism, projection that something was barbaric, a lot of that energy. Like, let me explain to you guys barbarism, okay? Barbarism, Eddie. So the is it philosophy or the psychology or the philosophy? Is it philosophy? It's philosophy, yeah. Foreign expression, incorrect form of speech, a foreign or uncouth mode of speech, non-Greek, yeah. It didn't mean savagely. It meant speaking incorrectly or like a foreigner. Over time, it expanded to mean crudeness, lack of civilization, or brutality. That's what it is, brutality. The speech or behavior, those who sound foreign. Foreign in terms of inhumane foreign. So within brutality, behavior or of those who sound foreign. So you see what I'm saying? So for example, now when I moved here, right? When I moved into San Francisco, the diagnosis that I got was that it was because of extreme exposure to like something that was completely foreign, right? So to me, you could assume, you would think that I would see everything as like barbaric, right? And that's why I got attacked the way that I did, because I'm looking at things as barbaric and stuff like that. But really, I didn't see things as see lack of civilization, brutality, crudeness. Maybe I did see it that way. Hey, it is kind of hard not to see it that way, isn't it? Because it's like, but at the same time, it's like there's justice in this situation. So here, I'll this will explain it a little bit better. Because yeah, so soulmate eternity, yeah. So actually no, I was right. I was right to see something as barbaric, right? Which was something completely foreign to me. So it was like, there it is. I came here to finish my learning when it came to my Chiron healing. Because what truly is barbaric and uncivilized, right? And how civilization should really be are two completely different things, right? For example, in Nigeria, there's like just like in America, right? People think this isn't real in America. It's very much real. Just like in America, in Nigeria, there's a lot of cannibalism, right? In Nigeria, the cannibalism is very isolated and very much like very traditional, old school, like what is that? Um Cannibal Holocaust energy. You know what I mean? Whereas in America, the cannibalism is very like what is that called again? Very oh, what is that show? Cannibal Lecter. You know what I mean? It's very like high society type shit. Like yeah. So it's like knowing the difference is super important. So like for example, like it's still considered barbaric, right? On both, even if it's high society, right? But it's not barbaric because it's in isolated regions where no one can see it and they're wearing cloths and da 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 and they're, yeah, you know what I mean? That's not why it's barbaric. It's because it's cannibalism. You know what I mean? That's like a thing. You see what I'm talking about now? So it's like a very like realistic understanding of what is uncivilized, right? So, for example, just because I'm using chopsticks doesn't mean that I'm barbaric, right? Just because I'm using forks and knives doesn't mean that I'm barbaric. Just because I'm, using my hands doesn't mean that I'm barbaric. You know what I mean? But if I'm now, you know what I mean? God forbid, but that's basically where we're going with this. You see what I'm saying? So it's like understanding the dynamic of the human culture, like, is really important because then there's like, for example, there's coerced rape where even if the person may even imply that they've said yes, it's still rape to a degree. You see what I'm saying? Because it may be millions of dollars. They're doing it on a bed of fucking cash. You know what I mean? Everybody may have said, yeah. You know what I mean? They might have said, oh yeah, this feels good. You know what I mean? It might seem right a certain way because of the standard of a certain aspect of where it's being done compared to like shoving someone into the bushes and just unclothing them and like, you know what I mean, and then raping it. The whole idea is that the evil within it is what's barbaric, not where they're doing it and how they're doing it. How, you know what I mean, the behavior of a situation, right, is like very the discernment has to be applied there very much because it's like behavior can be more mental than physical and more physical than mental. You see what I mean? Sometimes it's the way that you think that can make things barbaric rather than the way that you act by the intention, you see, that you're utilizing. Your intention may be pure, but your action may be a little, you know what I mean? But it still doesn't make the consequence of it, the optic of it, come through as barbaric. You see what I mean? So it's a lot of that. So like the optics are being purified as well. It's like that's the energy. So it's like, yeah. So something may be done very like neatly, clean, like like an assassination, right? But that doesn't make it barbaric. You see what I mean? It's the fact that there was an assassination and it is still barbaric. You see what I'm talking about? That's another thing. So yeah, here it is. See, I can't make this up, you guys. Parental care, parenthood in reverse, support in reverse, patron in reverse, compromise in reverse, hesitation in reverse. What is that? Third wheel enemy. You see what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Distrust, flirtatiousness, enemy. And that's what I'm saying right there. It's like they keep on disrupting, they keep on coming. And they're barbaric. It's like barbarism every time. So it's like there's eternal love, and then there's that barbarism, barbaric false interpretation of what people, it's like a false barbaric interpretation of what eternal love, eternity, and heaven really, and consistency, soulmate connection, eternity really might be. Yes, that's what it is. So there's a lot of individuals in this planet, right, that are going to get healed from perceiving eternity as some sort of barbaric reality, right? Whatever barbaric reality it was that people kept on perceiving has a lot to do with probably Gehenna. You see what I'm talking about? It's probably hell. It's probably not heaven. It's probably, you know what I mean? Yeah, see, accident. You see what I'm saying now? And there's that accident. Danger, caution, and it's something like, yeah, exactly. It's something exactly. It was readiness. So it's like, for example, $144, by the way. There was like a eternity, eternal love, prompt, eternal arrangement. And then Gehenna is also seen as eternal. So it's like, but you can turn away from it. Eternity lives within. You see what I'm saying? Eternity lives within. But hell is like a construct. Hell is a construct. Okay? Heaven is real, it's tangible. That's the big difference. Heaven is real, it's tangible. But hell is a construct. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Hell cannot actually, you know what I mean? Hell can be perceived, but it can't be grasped. Heaven can be perceived and grasped. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing, right? Family. So so there's like this, there's a yeah. So there's this like barbaric interpretation of reality that people perceive by through the construct of hell. And that is their perception that corrupts their consciousness and gives them dark desires. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if one endures, right, if they would have to, but if they endure past it, then still their reality can be tangibly pure. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, even if one goes through hell, as long as they endure through the perception of reality without accepting, without allowing in the construct of hell to give them dark desires, then they still are aligned with the reality that is. You see what I'm saying? So you can still, like, even if you're going through hell, if you understand that within yourself eternity is real and that your desires come from God that are pure, right, are already pure and need not to be purified, only if then that you can endure those, what you call it, barbaric perceptions of reality, would you be able to actually manifest pure vision, because it's in alignment with your desires. That's how you manifest, because then you're on your straight and narrow path. You know what I mean? Readiness. You're in your straight and narrow. However, not everyone is capable or had been capable or gave themselves the opportunity to be capable, or to basically, like, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody sees past the construct of hell, right? And not everybody is able to see the pure vision of heaven past the construct of hell. You see what I'm saying now? It's like that. That's what I'm saying. And so those individuals, right? Right? And this is where the difference is, because at the bottom of the deck there's a gift, right? You see what I'm saying now? There it is, that it's like they they basically have, they just get, they only get those dark desires. You see what I mean? Because they're not enduring past the construct of it. They're not seeing past it. They're not seeing. They're not able. I don't know. They're very fearful. You see what I'm saying? It's very much fearful, and so it's like, like fear really runs them. It's giving that. You see what I mean? Fear really runs them and gives them a run for their money and shit like that. Whereas, like, once you see past the fear, it's like, oh, like, the only one that I have to fear is God. And then once you really fear God, then at that point your vision is pure as fuck. Like, it's just pure. Like, because it's like, because you're actually, what is that? I keep on getting that. It's like, maybe it's like another premonition thing, but I'm gonna look it up just to see if, like, I don't know that what that is. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. Oh, actually. Yeah, exactly. That's not it at all. That's what I thought. So basically, yeah, that's another thing that I could tell. So basically, yeah, indulgement in reverse, like I thought. You see what I mean? So it's like I'm seeing, so it's like someone who is like, maybe hell. It's like, I don't know, bro. But I think hella holds a grudge on me or something. I don't know. I'm like starting to like see clearly now, and it's like, I think like, why? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what? Yeah, it's right there. No, so that's what I thought. It's not it at all. None of those. Yeah, I pretty much figured. So that's not it. Okay. I don't know why it's like, maybe it's like a hell wannabe, someone that wants to be hell, someone that, yeah, like a wannabe hell. Maybe that's what it is. A hell wannabe. What are those called? A hellmaker, or tormentor, instigator, demonizer. Hellbringer. That's what it is. Hellbringer. Hellbringer. That's what I was looking for. A Hellbringer. Huh. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna solve this right here, right now, because clearly this, yeah, this is gonna get easier like this, okay? Hmm. Accepting what cannot be revived. Yeah, that's what we're on right now. Situational detachment, endings, or emotional coldness, ability to govern loss rather than be ruled by it. Yeah, exactly. So she's this is it, y'all. I'm about to solve this motherfucking riddle like crazy, bro. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this is gonna be good. All right, hold on a second. This is gonna be so good. All right, let's see this. Let's see this. Okay, and then let's go here. And then this one, and then we'll go right here. Hera. Heracles is there too, huh? Okay, let's see. Oh, I thought I saw Helvetica. I was about to say. I was about to be like, what the fuck? There we go. There it is. And yep. That should be it. Is there a button here? Oh, there we go. Capricorn is crazy. All right. She's, oh my gosh. This, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense, bro. Oh my, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, no, thank you, Jesus. I pretty much figured that's what it was. I see it, like, he's like, like, you see what I mean? I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Fuchsia, no. Give me a second. I don't know why it wants to work sometimes. Other times it doesn't want to work. It's now it doesn't want to work. Oh my goodness, bro. What happened? What happened? Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait for it to come up. Okay. Hold on. Maybe if I do this. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right. Cool. So, okay. So basically, yeah, that hospital smell. Yep. I see what it is. I can, yep. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am. Yeah, I'm about to laugh my ass off our entire. What must die or end so that integrity and boundaries are restored? Emotional coldness, attachment, or endings that test your values or attachments. I can't make this shit up at all, bro. All that's my mom. Like that's my mom. Oh my gosh, bro. Hold up. Second house she's right there, bro. Second house operates by severing or revealing in your relationship to worth or possession, cycles of loss and renewal, income and possessions, encounters attachment for material attachment, learning what can't be kept, coldness or distance around issues or self-worth, prompting deeper reevaluation, the ability to end unhealthy value systems or to operate under scarcity with clarity. Oh, it's just fantastic, yeah. Fantastic. The ability to end unhealthy value systems or operate under scarcity with clarity. The energy is final, clean, and non-sentimental. When something no longer holds value, cuts it away, right? Maturity and conclusion shows finalization of value cycles. Learning to stabilize after loss often gives a personal, practical survivalist sense of worth. Knowing how to preserve essentials and release excess. Stripping away decayed attachment to material emotional losses, teaching enduring value through endings, loss, and detachment. Cutting off dead ends. That's what I do, y'all. I be cutting off dead ends. Which makes a lot of sense. That's because my ex was at the, okay. Sorry, I just had to make sure. Like, I was like, because I was wondering why I put it that way in my in parentheses. It was like dead end. I was like wondering why. Okay, it's making sense. So, you guys, in conclusion, watch out. It's me, the Earth Angel. Don't get on OnlyFans. Okay. Reservation in reverse. Yeah. So I literally go through the line and then where it ends, I just cut it. That's what the fuck am I, the devil? That's literally why people want to look at me like the devil. No wonder. Because in Capricorn is hilarious. like really? Wait, did I even write that down? No, I didn't. Because here's the kicker. Here's the punchline, you guys. I didn't write it. Here. I didn't even write it. That's so funny. Here's the kicker, you guys. Controlled elimination. Sorry. And reconstruction of value system. It removes what's structurally unsound in my material or emotional foundations and replaces it with stability based on endurance, responsibility, and self-reliance. I say obliteration, ChatGPT says controlled elimination. You know what I mean? Yeah, justice. It is what it is, after all. Yeah. So now they don't want to be disturbing me no more. Now they don't want to disturb me no more, right? Live and learn. I told you. It's crazy because yeah, like this is what I'm trying to say. So it's like whenever somebody, it's like the whole thing about being an earth angel, right? Is that like whenever somebody does it to me, like tries to do something to me, and I'm already like, you know what I mean? I'm already performing this way in my life. You know what I mean? So like if someone tries to do something to me, I'm like, oh, you must also need help, right? When God, when when God helps you. Like, sorry, give me a second. I just got a notification that got me real suspicious. Now I'm seeing it. When God helps you, like, God help you. Yeah. Now I really enjoy it. Now I really want to enjoy my prayer. Now I can really enjoy my prayer. Yeah, now I can really enjoy my prayer, Ivy. Now I can really enjoy it. Shaby, yeah, mask and reverse commitment. Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? Obstruction, contract, yeah, perseverance. And there it is. Now I'm persevering. Technically, I've completed my contract. So, what'd you call it? There's no stubbornness, there's perseverance, endurance. Yeah, they don't like me no more. This is why they don't like me. It's so funny. See why they don't like me? They're like, why would you do that? Why would you send us to her? I'm like, I'm here. Oh, what would you call it? Oh my. I'm sorry. Oh, it hurts. Okay. Is it the next day? Okay, sorry. I gotta do some. Okay. No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. Look at this. Yeah, look. Third wheel enemy energy is coming through. Vow, withdrawal. Yeah, see, look, wishing, hoping, quitting, withdrawal, vowing, withdrawal for profit. Yeah, okay, so that's what it is. So they were like trying to make it so that there would be like their thing was that they wanted to they were trying to dismiss the value of the worship. Like, yeah, they were trying to dismiss the value of the worship, the hope, the vowing, the wishing, right? Basically, like some sort of like, yeah. But then at the same time, it was like they expected gain, not from God, but from their perception. Like I said, premonition. Like they were, yeah. Anyways, it's been done. Now there's worship. There it is. There it is. Basically, this is what the collective is receiving. That's what we're receiving, okay? Because the reality of the situation, right? And they've been cited. The reality of the situation is by passing through the challenges, not being stubborn, and overcoming what it is, that there is gain through worship of the Most High, right? So whenever you are, yeah, they've been cited again. Whenever you're persevering boundaries, yeah, this is them that they're like, they didn't see that coming because I already saw it. I already envisioned it. They were projecting their premonitions, and now their premonitions are pissed, like because their premonitions are becoming real to them and they're not fulfilling their what they, yeah, exactly, right, they're not fulfilling what it is that they attempted to replace the vow for. You see what I mean? They can't replace the vow because the vow is already given to God, and the gain, whatever gain it was, whatever profit it is that's here, cultivation and conclusion here has already been completed and has been provided to God, so it's already a finality. Yeah, they're attempting to they're attempting to like, okay, so like I said, they're attempting to take some sort of learning. They're trying to take some sort of learned behavior, something that's learned. Okay, see, without, yeah, see, they're trying to take some sort of learned behavior with evidence and curse. It would trigger a curse for them. Yeah, pride in reverse. They're not seeing this coming with blind in reverse. It's like saying that they're trying to premonice. We see premonice. I mean omniscience, right? They're attempting to abuse omniscience. So omniscience is the intimacy between, yeah, that's really fucking insane. So I'm just gonna give that to God. All right. No wonder. Omniscience is what they were trying to abuse. I'm giving that to God. All omniscient divine beings are going to God now. Omniscience is going to God. They were trying to abuse omniscience. Like, yeah, they were trying to abuse omniscience real bad. They were trying to make it seem, yeah, there it is, natural disaster. See what I'm saying? Yeah, relaxation though. So I'm just going to look up omniscience real quick. So all-knowing, all-knowledge, infinite understanding. Yeah. Preeminence, stand out before others. distinction. Yeah. Preeminence, superiority, excellence. Preeminence is being given to God as well. Yeah, standing out before others. Preeminence, emanate, right? Emanation is being given to God too. Yeah, that's weird as hell. Yeah, that's them. They just got caught. They just got cited. They couldn't help it. So, yeah. So whatever that was is being cleared, right? Yeah, real estate in reverse. It's like they wanted to abuse. They wanted to abuse preeminence. Preeminence. Yeah, they wanted to abuse preeminence. Yep. Look, collaboration is there. Look, calm. And then self-love, energy, independence, simplicity, inner peace. So the energy of real estate in reverse and saving in reverse is what they were trying to. So they were trying to, how do I explain this? They were trying to preempt a preeminence of something that wasn't for the collective, that wasn't from the collective, as if it would had been or is from the collective or is by the collective, but it's not. So that's being removed and cleared, right? So it's like before you even get to doing something, people are already saying something that's not true about you, only as if that you exactly, as if that, but that's not true. That's not real. It's not going to happen, right? It's not happening. But that's what it is that they were trying to cause there to be a stopping for, but the stopping was already being like there's a lot of that going on. So now it's like it's under judgment. They're under judgment. Yeah, they're under judgment because it's like, yeah, because there's a promise here. Yeah, exactly. With worship and relaxation. Yeah, exactly. This is a vision. This is the vision. This is it. Yay. Okay, thank God. See, stubbornness in reverse. It's like they were attempting to preemptively premonish some sort of stubbornness before it was like, before that there was anything. So like, for example, when I was a kid, right, it would make people would try and make it seem like I didn't want to worship Allah, right? Like as if I wasn't really trying to pray, or as if I didn't want. But that's like the number one thing I wanted to do. That's what I've been trying to do, right? To the point where it was like they would block me. People would like specifically individuals would block me, like they specifically, especially them, they would block me from doing so, and then expecting me to do it anyhow or anywhere, like with barbarism. You see what I mean? But that's not my energy. But because that's what they were trying to preemptively premonish, as if that it were me, that was because it was them. Exactly. See, indulgence. You see what I'm talking about? Because that would not be right. It would just not be right in that energy. Exactly. It would just not be right. Exactly. So the gift is you know what I'm saying? This is the energy of like, you were supposed to give me Pandora's box. You weren't supposed to open Pandora's box. Now it's natural disaster. You were supposed to give me that box, yeah? I was supposed to be the one to receive that box. There's a real reason as to why. But they wanted, like, you see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be the one dealing with it. Disturbance and I'm not the one that's gonna be dealing with that issue and all those problems at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of the energy. So basically, daydream, optimism, illusion, delirium, bereavement, sorrow, damage. You see, and then that's where the loss is in the situation. You see the lesson? It's like you know in the Avengers, they've been cited because they were trying to come closer and closer and closer. You know, in the Avengers where the cube, or hey, yeah, the stones. Let's talk about Thanos and the stones and stuff like that, right? The stones, right? Where it's like you're supposed to transport the stones here and here, right? But somebody didn't want that to happen, and then now half the planet was obliterated. You see what I'm saying now? It's kind of that energy. It was like, well, Thanos isn't the one dealing with the loss, right? Up until Thanos had to deal with the loss, right? See what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's a movie, right? It's a fantasy. And that's another example of premonishing. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying now? why I don't really fuck with that all the way, because that premonitions isn't really real. That's not real. That's not what's gonna happen. You see what I'm saying now? But they really wanted to make it seem like that was real, and they wanted to make their dark fantasies come true. And so, they're gonna have to deal with their own self prophecy. That's gonna be for them. And then the real prophecy is still gonna happen regardless. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, how people are, yeah, exactly. You see what they're expecting? No. What'd you call it? The example of, what'd you call it? The example of, oh, you become the people that you hate. Yeah, no. 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 It's like they always trying to act like, you see, that's the premonitions. That's them trying to falsely preempt what'd you call it? A premonition. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like they're falsely preempting a premonition. It's based off of a premonitions. It's based off of what stands out, but it's only standing out to them because that's for them. That's their dark desire. You see what I'm saying now? It's their dark fantasy. Like when a guy is like, oh yeah, she's gonna, like a real fugly guy, right? Oh yeah, she's gonna fall in love with me, and she's gonna be obsessed with me. No, no, no. That might be what you want. And then them trying to like lock the person up in a cage, put their chains on them and tie them up, Pavlov dog them into like pretending, like, you know what I mean, creating barriers and obstacles in their life so that the person will pretend like they love the person, and then being like, see, I told you. Like, no, 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 that's still not winning. That's still not winning. Oh, he's winning in my bed. You see what I'm talking about now? Is that energy. Fuck that. Also, I put up boundaries upon that energy. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So, yeah, third wheel enemy, like I said, like has no hesitation. Like there's aspects of them that they're trying to take away. Like, so this is what it is. They're trying to stifle. They're trying to cause there to be like issues in the first house. Like they're trying to, how do I explain this? It's like someone trying to step into my shoes, but I wear slippers type energy. Like, you know what I mean? Or it's like someone trying to wear, like they're trying to put on my heels, but I wear slippers type of energy, like that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like they don't know what to do or what to say, or you know what I mean, how to act, because it's like they are used to only stepping into people's heels, but I wear slippers. You see what I mean? That's like the kind of energy. It's like they can't access like the aspect of myself. Yeah. Okay, thank God. They can't access the aspect of myself through themselves. They can't do that. They can't contact me. Like they keep on trying to make it seem like that, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Didn't I tell you they're run by the energy? So finally there are boundaries on them. They're finally, yeah, that's it. Finally Dharma's coming through. Right? Dharma's coming through. Reservation. They're a dead end. They were caught. They were dead end. It's like a, how do I explain this on some Medusa energy? You're not gonna lie. It's like cutting off the heads of the snake. Right? Like, okay. Let me explain this. It's like cutting off the heads of the snake of Medusa, but it's Medusa trimming her ends. You see what I'm saying? It's like they grow heads, and you just trim, and every time they grow a pair of head, you just trim it. You know what I mean? It's just like, isn't that? You know? You know what I'm saying here? It's like each dead end, because I was just thinking about cutting my hair too. So it's like each dead end is like, it like its own, it's its own fucking evil or something. I don't know, a venomous creature or something. I don't know. Is there a spider somewhere? Am I tripping? What is that? So there's weakness, fragility. So there's weakness, fragility, right, in the energy. And then there's the blessing in reverse. So what is this, Holy Spirit? What is this, Holy Spirit, Heavenly Father? What is this? The nightmare, prosecution, suffering. I just learned this, right? So it's undesirable. That's what it is. So there's something that's like not a pure desire, but it comes out as undesirable. And they're premonishing undesirable things. That's what it is. They're premonishing undesirable things. Yeah, confinement in reverse. They're premonishing undesirable things for people, or for me specifically. Let's just say it's for me, right? They're premonishing undesirable things for me. And it's to abuse omniscience. Am I omniscient, Holy Spirit, Heavenly Father? See, friendliness. You see what I'm talking about now? And then robbery, exploitation. Yeah. Oh, I am? So that's what it is? Am I all-knowing? I don't know. I feel like Allah is the most, is all-knowing. You know what I mean? Allah is truly all-knowing. I wouldn't want to, you know what I mean, do that. Maybe they believe that I'm all-knowing. Maybe that's what it is. That's what it is. Well, just because I know everything they're doing doesn't mean that I'm all-knowing. Oh my gosh. Maybe I just know everything they're doing. That's how narcissistic they really fucking are. Narcissists are always so fucking afraid of me because they see me as all-knowing because they think that everything that they do is everything that can be done. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say here. It's like everything they're doing, they literally think that they're the most perfect of all perfect and everything, the peak of fucking perfection and everything and around, like the world fucking revolves around them. So whenever I'm like, I know everything they're doing, I see through them, and I know everything and how they do everything and all that jazz, like they freak the fuck out. They literally freak out because they think that they literally see me as some sort of all-knowing fucking being or something, as if that I'm like, all-knowing doesn't always have to mean like omniscient in that energy, right? All-knowing in the energy of like as if I'm spying on them, or I'm always like trying to look at them, or I'm doing something to them. Like, nah, I don't really give a fuck. It's just pure psychology. It's just pure psychology. Like they don't, you see what I'm saying? Family in reverse. Like I don't have to, like, see, I'm an introvert. I don't have to, like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's like the difference between common knowledge. Like I said, there's people who really are, they're individuals who are really stumped by the fact that their ways are really old. Like the things that they do are really old. Like people have already evolved past them. Like, you know, stuff like that. There are people who just can't accept the fact that they are not ready for newness, freshness, and stuff like that, right? That everything that they do is super like fucking like whatever, right? They can't accept that. Like it's weird. It's a dead end. It's a dead end. They're being cut off. It's like they're not understanding this energy, and it's not for them to understand. That's it. End of story. They can't premonish in my energy. They can't project their premonitions. They can't accept it. That's it. See? It's an adventure here. And the adventure is a mystery, and they don't know what it is. That's the thing. That's why I'm putting it upright, because they don't know what it is. It's not up to them to decide what it is and what isn't. It's going to be it is a mystery, because the vision is going to be fulfilled by how God chooses it for it to be fulfilled. And that's gonna be, yeah, exactly. See, fright in reverse. And they're not scared of that. That's what they're not scared of. You see what I'm saying now? They're not scared of God. You see what I'm saying? Because God is omniscient. God is all-knowing. God knows and sees everything. But they are projecting their, yeah, exactly. See, merit making. See me? Look at me. Astaghfirullah. I'm literally coming out like this. See what I mean? You see what I mean? And they're upset. You see what I mean? They were so excited they thought that it was going to come up, right? Oh, they're trying to premonition me being homeless so bad that it literally is like, it literally, look at them. They're being rejected. Like whatever it is that they've been doing is being rejected. Like I said, they're under judgment. Yeah, they're being cut off. Yeah, that's it. With their like weirdo ass. Like they're really weird. Yeah. I'm coming out as an introvert there too with the Virgo energy. Let me see where that Virgo energy is at. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See? And they can't premonition in my frequency. This is something that they're trying to, like I said, they're trying to be the thing that they're trying to be the thing that they're trying to embody the thing that I've already learned from. You see what I'm talking about? They're trying to embody the thing that I've already learned from. How do I explain this? It's like, for example, they're trying to be a vessel for hell. Let me just say it that way. Let me make it clear. They are trying to be a vessel for hell. The thing about hell is that hell is also innocent. You see what I'm saying? Isis, like the deity, like the characteristic of the deity, right? The energy, right? The being. I'll say the being. It's over, right? Is also innocent, right? We are innocent characteristics of God's creations, right? We are the embodiment of these characterisms that God has created, right? So me, myself, and I, right, in heaven am innocent, right? Jesus Christ is innocent. You see what I'm saying? So we can channel this. And let me be frank with you. I don't really need to have a name. This is the truth. You see what I'm saying now? The reality of the situation is that they are trying to embody hell. But the thing about hell is that she kind of is innocent. Like the energy is innocent. Like it teaches you stuff. It is about, look, it teaches you about what'd you call it? Where was it? She teaches you about, like, for example, like there's a difference between Gehenna and the people in Gehenna. You see what I'm talking about now? It's like, how are you going to be mad at Gehenna for doing what it was created for? You see the difference? You see what I'm talking about now? So human beings weren't created to be barbaric. That was already clear. Because we are cultivating a reality to live with God. Maybe at first there was a clear sign through Adam and Eve, through a clear sign that there was barbarism, right? And so the lesson really began, where we were learning to remove that from the system, remove the barbarism from the system, and become one with God in union, in purity, in heaven with God in kingdom. You see what I'm talking about now? Now, the barbarity that is cleansed now, right, is everybody else is individual. Every single person has their own responsibility to clear that out in their own personal lives, in their bloodline, and so on and so forth, right? Now, hell, right? Just like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what kind of sin causes barbarism, or is the cause of barbarism. How is barbarism a sin? Yeah, there it is. How is barbarism a sin? And I'm asking very like authentically here, like, how is barbarism a sin? Yeah, how is barbarism a sin? And this is why I'm like introverted right now. How is barbarism a sin? Yeah, unconditional love coming through. Yeah, there it is. Queen of, you see what I mean? Unconditional love. And then there they are again in the energy. That ugh, Queen of Wands in reverse, that makes sense. But is a whore-like energy. Adultery. Thou shalt not commit adultery. So adultery. The sin of adultery, which one is it? Here, how about this? This will be better. This will make more sense. Lust. Yeah, that makes sense. Pride and lust. Envy, pride, and lust. Thou shalt not commit adultery. So pride and lust. Ooh, whoa. Yeah, they were trying it. There it is. Envy, pride, and lust. Yep. Didn't I say it was some sort of ego is pride? Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, thank God. Okay, so cycle complete. So I already went through this energy where I saw past it, obviously. So no matter what, and then there it is. There they are. That's their ass. See? They were trying to do the most. God is the most protective, honestly. God is thy protection, honestly. God is thy sanctuary. God is thy sanctuary. Like, for real. The Lord is thy sanctuary. Yeah. So they are the natural. So you see what I'm saying? They're trying to be the natural disaster. They're frustrated. They're extremely frustrated right now. They're trying to be the natural disaster. Yeah, they can't really do anything. They're frustrated because they're under judgment. They're confined. Like it's something like that with pride, envy, and lust. They're trying to premonice and it's not working. Overload in reverse. Yeah, because there's already perseverance. Like already. So, but my question is, why is it still out? Why? Because that's the thing about it. Like, so the scar. The scar represents not the, what'd you call it? Not the wound, but the insight, right? Of the healing. So that then the, let me see what it is. The insight of the healing. Yeah, and then the teaching that comes after it. So this would be the teaching aspect. So the exposure came through, insight is here, and then the insight, wait. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I knew it. I'm not really, because it would be something different for me to now say that I'm omniscient. That's something different, you know what I mean? That's a little, you know what I mean? But I can say, you see what I mean? This is what I'm saying. They're projecting like pride, but that's not working because I don't really use that word. I don't really use that word. I don't use pride or even proudness or anything like that. I'm glad to say, I'm happy to say, right? I'm really happy to say that I, I mean, can perceive through insight. I can be insightful. I'm insightful about omniscience. You see, I can say that. I can say that with strength. Yeah, they're really testing me here. Like I'm saying, like, yeah, you see. And then there's weakness energy, but the weakness energy. You know what's really funny is that although Pluto operates in the energy of like, okay, so let's see, works slowly through deep instant crisis, obsession, or power dynamics, right? And then the hell energy also is like, what was it? Where is it? The controlled elimination. See, controlled elimination and reconstruction of value systems, right? Where is it? Can indicate material austerity, or the ability to recover from financial or personal depletion. Well, that's switched around. Detachment from dependency. Well, this is what? What? That's not what I said the first time around. I think we just changed timelines. Okay. Mandela effect. All right. I don't know what you heard, but that wasn't what I said. What I said it changed. Okay. Hey, it is what it is at this point. That's definitely where that's where the marker happened. Yeah. So basically, something where something has reached its natural end, it freezes a no longer viable force structural acceptance. What the fuck? What the heck? So Capricorn energy is directed to wait. Ends relationships, jobs, or financial systems that have lost integrity, prioritizes survival and long-term stability over sentiment, handles crisis and deprivation with composure and endurance, operates a system's hierarchy or authority, uses endings to reestablish order. Okay, thank you, Jesus. What the heck? What the heck? This is so funny. This is so funny. Oh my gosh. So this is where they were trying to force the laughter to y'all. I'm tripping. Hold up. Tower, oh my god, bro. I knew I wasn't wait. I knew this was real. I knew this was real all along. That's what I'm trying to say. You see, they can't make it. They can't. they can't. They can't make me look like something I'm not. Yeah, and like yeah, exactly. Because I was about to say it seems like it's Omega, and everything changed. I'm just excited to know that it's real. Okay, thank you, God. But what is this? Yeah, there's like, so they're like mad because I think that they can. I don't know. I don't know if they can see it or that they thought that they had insight. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, maybe that they received some sort. See, this is why I told you. This is why I be telling y'all to like. This is why it's the same thing where it's like the Pandora's box was supposed to come to me, and you see what happened. And they didn't want to. You see, and this is the crazy part about this whole situation. Hey, you see? Okay, good news. Yeah, friendship, and you see the friend. Oh, nightmare in reverse. Exactly, because my best friend is the Holy Spirit. Your best friend should also be the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. Yep, there we go. I knew it. So they were attempting to. They're still doing it, Lord. This is what I'm trying to say. It's like they're trying to take a resolve, but at the same time, it's like is this only happening to me? Like, what the heck? What is going on? So, is this why people were calling me paranoid? What's going on, Holy Spirit, Heavenly Father? Because now I'm like giving you favor, because just take the favor, just take the favor, ask for Allah, just take the favor. Cycle complete. So this isn't my problem anymore. Is what I'm getting. So this isn't my problem anymore. So as per, it was only happening to me. Now, it's not only going to be happening to me, but I already passed it. I'm past it now. Is that what I'm getting? Yeah, because now they're going to have to deal with the consequences of bad investments, or some individuals are going to be. So King of Pentacles is coming up as like a person that has, okay, so they have to deal with the consequences of the bad investment that they made. Yeah, exactly. And being entrapped with that energy. So that it's like, okay, that makes sense. Moving on. So now now they're gone. Okay, now it's done. All right. Yeah, because they refuse to accept the message, or they refuse to take a message, or they can't see past the bad investment that they made. Oh, okay. They can't see past the bad investment that they made so that they can heal, but it's their destiny to heal. So, I mean, yeah. Props. Yeah, God is good always. There's a tower to that energy, the devil that was trying to stop the situation. The ancestors are coming through. Ooh, the ancestors are taking on the betrayal. Yeah, the ancestors are protecting the King of Pentacles energy, the person. Okay, so if you're an independent person, so if you make a lot of financial decisions in your life, okay, so this is like primary financial holder, right? Or you're the primary financial holder of your family. I guess this is because you guys got families, right? So you're the primary financial holder of your family, and so any kind of little investment or an investment that you allow people make within your family is technically like a little cause for a big effect, right? Then you might have been going through, or in the past been going through, some sort of um, financial inadequacy of some sort, right? In that financial inadequacy, it was really hard to take care or develop yourself or others or the family members within whatever construct it is, right? This is due to a bad or terrible financial decision that was made, right? So these bad financial decisions that were made, all right, all right, or like bad financial decisions that were made in the past, right? Or something like that, something along the lines of that, had a lot to do with, okay, so here it is. So had a lot to do with obviously you can't really put blame on other people for why you didn't see that it was a bad financial investment, but really it was due to old paradigms or old dynamics that are now being deconstructed in, and there's new stable constructions being launched. So you got to really see through it. You got to really see past, like, it's like bad times, like that. It's like you might have been going through bad times. Like, don't take it personally, but there were bad times, right? There was such a thing as a bad time, right? You were going through like a bad trip or something like that. You see what I'm saying? You got to see past it, because now there's something new in the horizon. That newness that will allow you to heal in order for you to step into the power of your destiny. And in that power of your destiny, you will be allowed to align yourself with your higher good rather than the animus sector, or the animus energy, or which would be the scorned energy, which would also be the oh my gosh, what is it called again? There's a lot of false premonitions, okay? There's a lot. They're being deconstructed right now. Okay. So be aware of those. Okay, I guess I have to say it. This is a form of me teaching. Be aware of those who premise on sacrilege and premise through sacrilege, as well as individuals who worship through sacrilege. Like, so they may try to tell you that either you or other people are being sacrilegious in a certain type of aspect or way. That is in order to falsify a premonition. It's not real. It's not true. Just get over it. Just step over it. Okay, focus on your vision. Okay, focus on what it is that you gotta focus on, because that's not real. Okay, that whatever it is, it's just bullshit. They're just screaming shit. Okay, they're only screaming shit. They're not really doing shit. Okay, that's what's going on. Okay, it's like someone saying crude words, right? It's the same thing. Like, it's bullshitting. Okay, so in this frequency, right, there's a huge tower because the dark energies are being demolished, absolutely obliterated in this energy, right? Whatever. Okay, so whatever kind of betrayal it was that they were, this is okay, this is me stepping in. Okay, I get it now. So it's like whatever it is that was the betrayal is returning back to sender. Was possibly that they were attempting to make there seem to be as if that was to cause in some sort of negative effect in order for there to be a seemingly optically illusioned, idealistic, false illusion, false idealism of a situation. That's all being returned back to sender. Okay, it's an isolated kind of energy as well. Yeah, so now we're moving forward, right? So there's a raising of consciousness and also an ascension occurring. So rising of consciousness, enlightenment, there's the insight. Yes, so there's like the pain or something that they're going through. I don't know what that is. Nine of Swords. What is that Nine of Swords energy? What is that Nine of Swords energy? Yeah, it's like a forbidden kind of thing. Okay, it's like a forbidden kind of energy. I can't really explain it. It's like how do I explain that it's like a forbidden frequency or a forbidden kind of energy? Like, what is that, Holy Spirit? Like, if you know, you know, like kind of the energy of like bros before hoes kind of frequency. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like something like an unspoken rule, an unspoken law, like kind of frequency, like that, like that. Like, that's coming into the horizon. That's coming into like judgment. Okay. So it's like 244. Yeah, exactly. It's like something that is not compromisable, something that cannot be compromised. You see what I'm saying? Um, oh yeah. It's like understanding the value of what cannot be compromised. Right. Yeah, exactly. The goal. Exactly. See what I'm saying now? It's like they failed in that aspect. Those individuals who were trying to cause those false premonitions and stuff like that have failed to, I don't know what it is that they thought. Like, so it's like they must be like in their 50s or past their 50s. These are also like, if you are in your 50s and you're not in that energy and you're still like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Then you're probably not the person who failed. You're probably just getting to that lesson now, and you're like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? This is what you guys were doing, like, you know what I mean? Hi, Earth Angel. So basically, um, that's another thing that's going on, right? Yeah, so relaxation, relax, all right? That's another thing that's going on. Um, so I don't know how to explain this. It's like, yeah, but those are individuals that also, there are others that are in their like that are in their 80s that are just finding out that this is going on because they failed the last one, but they were still healing. I'm hearing that as well. Um, so sorry for that, right? Ugh, this place, man. And then there's like people who just learned that less, like you know who didn't probably Queen Elizabeth. She didn't get to her 100, right? She was in 99. Ooh, yeah, that's the energy. So that curse in reverse, yeah. So basically it's like what like, that's why some people in their hundreds are now living their life the way that they are, real chilling and stuff like that. It's because they learned that lesson. Wow. Oh man. This is tough. This is tough shit, man. I need to. Oh, you see me when I'm doing this, like, what is it that I do? Like this? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, hold on. Hold on, I don't know what I'm doing. So, what'd you call it? I don't know, man. A headache or pain, or I don't know, pain, headache. I don't know, man. It's hurting. Oh, no pain, no gain. So that's what it is. So they were some sort of spiritual kind of pain. Their existence was some sort of spiritual kind of pain. And that's what it is that they were trying to embody. They were real arrogant about it. Huh. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, strategy in reverse. There it is. Collaboration. Yeah, exactly. They didn't see it as a divine orchestration. That's what it is. They didn't see the divine orchestration of it all. You know, that's been my whole thing with trap in reverse. That's been my whole thing about it, is to really understand what God means. Like, what would you like? What do you mean, Allah? Like, you know what I mean? What was the origin of all this, right? And how can I, prove it to around myself, right? How can I honor what I've learned? around me. That's really most of my life, is learning to honor what God is showing me around me. I think it's just like a natural thing that I do. Because like I just when you I think it's like most people, I think when you really enjoy something, you just kind of want to surround yourself with it, right? And for me, it's like in order for me to maintain what it is that I've really understood and learned, right? It's like I like surround myself with it, right? That's what I'm saying. So they were trying to undervalue that. Now there's evidence of that, is what it's coming through as. But they didn't see how God was going to also make that a part of the plan. And that's what it is that they were trying to find out about. What God was going to do to integrate the pain that they were causing, and how that it was going to turn into gain for the divine, profit for the divine, so that then they would preemptively premonice around it, basically. That's some sinful ass shit, bruh. Um, they really lost meaning in their existence, didn't they? That's what it is. These are individuals that have lost meaning, or those are individuals that have lost meaning in their existence or something. That's basically it. Yeah, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, that's what it is that they were trying to project also onto like King of Pentacles energy, Nine of Pentacles energy. Basically, individuals who own dynasties, basically. Yeah, that's the truth. They were trying to project onto those with the dynasties. Those, yeah, they were trying to steal from people with dynasties, basically. They were trying to steal from people with dynasties. And it was, yeah, exactly. So it wasn't only happening to me. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to say it now. It's like exactly, because now it's coming through. Now they're coming through. Now they made it, I think. Yeah. Is that they were trying to steal from people with dynasties. Yeah, exactly. They were trying to steal from people with dynasties. And they were trying to make them lose meaning in their reality and project that sense of loss that they have in their reality, to act as if that, to force people to relate to them kind of energy. And that's how people, then that's how they would like sneakily take away their dynasties little by little, crumbs by crumb by crumb. People forget that the breadcrumbs are a part of the bread. Like they forget that. People, I don't know why people keep on trying to like, people always have this like these those individuals always seem to have like some sort of arrogant, self-obsessed kind of behavioral. It's like whatever. But basically, with the Three of Wands and the, what'd you call it? Yeah, there it is. Give it to God, commencement. Yeah, exactly. There they are. They come in again with the Emperor in reverse energy. Yeah, but it's already with God. Exactly, it's already with God. See, and then they were trying to. There's the premonitions. You see, there's the premonitions. They were trying to act as if that, because premonition is actually pure, right? Real premonition is pure. They were trying to abuse the power of omniscience in order for there to be impure premonitions, right? So premonition, now we can look up premonition. See, forewarning. Exactly, forewarning. Given a warning given beforehand. And that was the whispering energy, foreknowledge. See, it conceptually similar to omniscience. But yeah, premonition. They were trying to abuse premonition. So now it's clear that they were misleading people through false premonition. And through false premonition, they were attempting to cause there to be stagnation in people's dynasties, all to obscure people's vision. Now it's being cleared. Libation is here. Like I said, prayer, religion, you see donation, it was given to God. Yeah, justice, marriage. There it is. So now, yeah. Now they're the ones entrapped in all their false prophesying and whatever, in the hell that they created for themselves, right? Whereas I can't even, wow. You know, they said hell was going to be real beautiful. Now I see it. So remember when I remember saying this before. I'm like, if you really think that, yeah, that I'll like, wow, I really said this. I really said it. I really said it in the past. I really said that I was that if they ever tried to do that shit to me again, that I would make hell real pretty. Wow. Yeah, see? That betrayal. Yeah, there it is. Cuz they really thought that it was like, cuz you're not supposed to fear Gehenna. First of all, you're not supposed to fear hell at all. You're not supposed to fear hell at all. And it's funny that because this is something that I'm passing through right now. It's actually really ironic. I'm actually moving on to my next cycle right now. Ooh. I'm actually really close. Let me see it. Yeah, I'm real close. Oh, it's gonna get weird in a little bit. When did this last happen? Isn't it every Tosh, maybe it's every 7 years. 7, 14. What did they say again? 28, IB. It's 28. No? It's 20. Yeah, no, it's 27. Shabi's about to be 2026. That's what I'm thinking. So IB 7. Let me think. No. That's 24. 25 minutes. Yeah, it is 27. Yo. Wait, so when was this? 24? Fuck. 24, 23, 22, 21. What the fuck happened? 20? Oh, that's what it was. So they wanted, wait. So I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was real. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I knew it was real. So that was what it was. Okay. And then that would have been 16, IB. When was it, 16? See, I knew I wasn't tripping. Toss. You see, now I'm tripping. Now it's not making sense anymore. Let me see. No, that was 20. So it only happened twice. Yeah. So that was when I was 8 and then 20. So 28. No. Sorry, it's just not making any sense. 24. 32, bro. I'm gonna be looking forward to that. I'm gonna be looking forward to 32. Like, oh my gosh. I guess this is what it is now. Yeah, Jesus did it at 33. Let me see if I can do it at 32. Hey, let me see if I can do it by 32. Okay, let me go back here first. So if I'm here, right? Because I'm really here, right? So that's where I'm seeing 28 at. Ta. So it's gonna be so funny, bro. So wait. I'm not gonna be turning 27. I'm gonna be turning 26. What am I talking about? Fuck. Okay, sorry. Okay. We're good. We didn't skip ahead. Okay. So good. We're here. So we're good. We're here. So they were premonitioning something. See how I stopped it right on time, y'all. Right on time. Thank God. Because I'm staying. I knew something was weird. So they were like, so this is something I'm learning now. I'm already past. Yeah, exactly. Because 23 should be 24. How old am I? I'm 20. Sorry, I'm a time travel shit. Sorry. Yeah, they've been sighted. So they just got sighted. I just noticed them again for the last time. Yeah, exactly, because that's their energy. They're trying to be in this energy. They're trying to be in the Princess of Pentacles energy. They're using premonitions, like they're trying to abuse premonitions, like really bad. They're trying to abuse premonitions. It's like I knew this, but I knew this not from them. And this is the reality. I knew this not from them, and they were mirroring. They were trying to mirror like false premonitions by obscuring what was being. They were trying to obscure. They were using their obscured perception of a premonition to cause false premonitions to others. That was what it was. That's what it made it seem so legit, is because that's what they were going through. But they were trying to make everybody else go through it and learn the lessons with them. Like it was like, and so like everybody would be learning a lesson with them, and nobody would be learning exactly secrets revealed. Yeah, illumination. You see what I'm saying? It was their desire. It was their desire. It was like they were desiring. See what I mean? It was their desire. They were seeing through their desire, but their desire had been corrupted. It was already not a pure desire. Like they weren't using their pure desire, because they refused a pure desire. Like it was a refusal of a pure desire. They refused it. See what I mean? It's in the past. You see what I'm saying? And it's like they're trying to, like, it's too much. And at the end of the day, no wonder the King of Pentacles was coming out, the energy. Because it was like, because I mentioned this with Archangel Uriel frequency, because that's Archangel Uriel frequency. It would be like someone, it's like Archangel Uriel is the one who gives like the warnings and stuff, right? And it was like, it was causing so many issues. It's like you couldn't be like, okay, it would be like I would come through with a message of like, watch out for this and that, right? For example, I literally, like when I called the police and I told them, like, if somebody else gets assaulted and like da 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 da, and somebody's life, and somebody dies, somebody's murdered, it'll be in your hands. It'll be blood on your hands. Like that's me giving them a warning. But this was a real warning, and now it came true. So now a whole bunch of those people have blood on their hands. A bunch of those individuals are guilty as fuck. Guilty as fuck. You understand? So now the court system that supported their judgment, the false judgment, is now guilty as fuck. So now there's a whole thing going on here in San Francisco. When people thought that there was a whole thing happening before, now it's even worse, right? This is what I'm saying. Now they're going to have to deal with the consequences of what really happened, especially in my past, right? What brought me here, right? Like the reality of what brought me here, right? How did I know, right? All that jazz, right? Well, how are they going to get blood off their hands, right? All that situation, right? Because the reality, the reality, exactly, and they're not going to be able to get away with anything. That's better. So now there's a meeting point, the marriage, the meeting point between the see exactly what's supposed to be happening and me, right? This is the alignment. There's an alignment here, right? There's now an alignment, but there's still a problem. There's one problem within the situation. There's one little very real problem in the situation, and that's where it's slow. Okay, see exactly, there it is. There's supposed to be some sort of mercy here, charity or kindness here. That came through by God, right? And his grace. Yeah, nightmare in reverse. You see what I'm saying? So some sort of nightmare. Oh, right. Okay, we're good. Oh, wait, no. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. This is where it would be like I would be receiving a forewarning, right? This is where I would be receiving a forewarning. See, explorer. But I'm exploring it. I'm exploring what it is, okay? There it is. They're furious. You see what I'm talking about now? That's their energy. So it happens before the exploration begins. You see what I'm saying? So where there's supposed to be prayer, right? And me, I'm saying, okay, God help me, God help me, God help us. Astaghfirullah, Bismillah, Rahman Rahim, La ilaha illa Muhammad Rasulullah. You know, I'm giving it to God. Situation there, the darkness. You see, that's it. And I put up boundaries upon them, and I call on judgment on them, and they've been cited. So see, so they are like they hate on like they hate some sort of spiritual protection, or they hate religion or the process of spiritually protecting oneself or something like that. That's the problem. Yeah, exactly. Robbery, like unfairness. Yeah, there it is. See what I'm saying? There it is. Apology calm. Finally. So it's like they are they like they like yeah they like oh, how do I say this? You know, as I said it in my family, right? We would pray right before we go on any kind of like anything, right? It would be like they would try and cause there to be so many problems that it would seem like as if that we wouldn't even have time to sit down and pray. But the reality of the situation is that if we sat down and prayed and missed our flight, we'll just thank God. That's the reality. That's the reality of the situation. Yeah, exactly. Savings in reverse. That's what they can't say, is the fact that there's discipline. They don't like discipline. That's what it is. They don't fuck with discipline. They don't fuck with discipline. Yeah, strategy in reverse. You see what I'm saying? Fright. See, they weren't scared of God. Strategy in reverse, fright in reverse, sweetheart in reverse, fate in reverse, and loss. See, that's them. They're caught. They hate discipline and disciplined individuals, disciplined people. They don't like disciplined crowds. They don't like discipline. They anything that has to do with discipline, they don't like it. Like it literally, like yeah, libation in reverse. Like they're being seen as guilty. Yeah, because it's like they don't like discipline. So there you go. There's the vision. They don't like discipline, but the reality is you're moving towards a more disciplined era, collective. You're moving towards a more disciplined era where you find yourself doing the things that you've always wanted to do, having the time to do all the things that you've always wanted to do, living your best life. You're moving into an era of absolute refinement and enlightenment. It takes discipline for things to be refined. You see what I'm saying? And so they don't they like I said, barbarism is an unrefined energy, but it's not raw, is it? Is it raw? Is it raw? No, it's not exactly. Barbarism isn't the raw potential of human nature. That's the truth. Okay? It is the truth. Okay? So, barbarism isn't the raw nature of human, is not the raw essence of human nature. The raw essence of human nature, exactly. You see what I mean? Idea. There it is. Inspiration, light, enlightenment. There it is. The raw essence of human nature is quite literally in the name Ra. You see what I'm saying? It's in the name. But what'd you call it? But like I said, you don't really need a name, right? Barbarism would be it would be seemingly in it would seem as if that we are defending ourselves if I did what that unspoken thing there. But the reality is that barbarism is like, I don't know how to explain it, man. is like more so refusal to towards refinement. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Barbarism would be more so like the refusal for towards refinement, right? That's what it is. It's more so like a refusal for refinement, which is like I said before, it doesn't only manifest like as if like, oh, tribal people in a tribe killing people, you know what I mean, and then eating them raw, you know what I mean. It can also manifest as like high society individuals using chopsticks, knives, and so on and so forth, forks and knives, in, you know what I mean, in like spirit cooking, right? Just and cannibalism that way, you know what I mean. It can manifest in these different ways, right? It doesn't mean that, would you call it, one is better than the other, or as if that they know what it is. No, it's all that mirrored image of a false perception of reality. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, profession coming through, memory coming through. Yeah, that's it. So now the vision is clear. Okay, the vision is clear. So now we're purifying a foreknowing. We're purifying for knowing. Yeah, purifying for knowing, the incited. Purifying for knowing, and giving it to God. Yeah, there's natural disaster again. You see what I mean? It's like they won't fucking stop. It's crazy. We're purifying the foreknowing. They you see what I mean? It's like they don't like that the natural disasters are happening to them, the natural ending. You see, they're calling it a disaster. That's what it is. It's a natural ending. Okay? It is Jesus Christ, and to them it's a disaster. There it is. Exactly. Exactly. Triumph. Finally. Holy Spirit, Heavenly Father. Thank you, God. That's it. So they are, like I said, the natural essence of human nature isn't barbarism, right? That's not how God works, okay? It's just not, right? Like, you know, maybe the Korean shamans were right. Maybe you could stop an eclipse. You know what I mean? You never know. I'm just making sure. I'm curious. Okay, at this point. Like, at this point, you know what I mean? Hey. So, yeah, so basically they've been rejected. Jesus is coming through, cutting out some sort of dead end when it came to some false premonition. Yeah, so he's coming through rejecting some sort of premonition. That's the energy. I'm saying it's like they see Jesus and this is what it is. Like, they be scared. I'm trying to say. It's like, oh, I know what it is. It's glory. They're scared of glory. They think glory, permanence, obviously it's glory, right? So they're afraid of glory, like glory being to God, joy to the world. You see what I'm saying? They're like fucking mortified by it. Yeah, because they rejected it. It's like they rejected the idea that glory comes from God, that glory comes from God, and that joy is brought about by his glory. That's the truth. You see what I'm saying? So those are individuals who, but it's so much deeper than that. Well, let me explain it in this way, right? It's so much deeper than them only rejecting, like, because anybody could say, oh, they rejected glory being from God and then joy to the world. You know what I mean? It could be, it's not so simple in their experience. In their experience, it's like glory isn't a principle in their experience, right? But glory is a principle. It is, right? Glory is a principle. You see what I'm saying? Glory is a principle. They're attempting to make it seem like glory is some sort of experience, but glory is a principle, right? This is whenever you think about people like that are celebrities or famous individuals, right? anyone who's well known, right? They experience not glory. They don't experience glory. They experience joy through glory. You see what I'm saying? They don't experience glory unless they experience the raw essence of glory, which would be so much more like that would be like monks, or you know what I mean, people who are much closer to God than, you know what I mean, like a celebrity, you know what I mean, or like someone who believes that they are, you know what I mean, or someone who's just well known, you know what I mean. Someone who's just well known only experiences like this much of what glory really is. You see what I'm saying? Whereas where there's individuals who don't experience glory at all and have no joy in the world, and so then they don't understand that glory isn't an experience that someone can really experience without it being like an experience, you know what I mean. But the meaning of it is that if they were really afraid of glory, it would really identify with them being afraid of God, right? But at the same time, they see glory as a natural disaster. So whereas being in within glory, so being enlightened in that way, being under the light of God, right? Being under the spotlight of God, being under the experience of other people's joy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said it's much more deeper than that. They rejected that God is truly glorious. You see what I mean? That God is the most glorious. That's the reality, that Allah is the most glorious. Yeah. They rejected Allah being the most glorious. They rejected God being the most glorious. And then yeah, that's it. Yeah, you see? There's the prophet. There's the vow, like I said. And there's no compromise when it comes to, what'd you call it? Some sort of, so daydream alliance, this is paradise. But paradise, don't I have a paradise card here? No, it's not in here. But yeah, but they refuse to see joy, or refuse to see that paradise is joyful. That's another thing. You know, when people go traveling in paradise, no. They refuse to see that paradise is joyful and that God is the most glorious, that Allah is the most glorious. Yeah, see, and they don't have a share in it because they don't have a share in it. Yeah, see, that's it. That's their trap. They're not going to be receiving a share. That's not our problem. Yeah, see? Bitch, I don't give a fuck. I don't even know who the fuck you are. Anyways, sorry, just keep on going. That was their trap. They fell for it. Fucking idiots. I can't fucking stand them. Anyways, moving on. Because I'm done. The fuck? Yeah, because that was God's promise to me. Like, they really thought that I wouldn't be exalted. Right? That's another thing. But one thing, and most importantly, is that Jesus is exalted. Right? And plus, it's like they were, like I said, they were scared of me looking forward to being exalted by God. That's another thing. As far as I'm concerned, and I've read it through, God said that I could be exalted, so I'm looking forward to it, and that's it. And they're like so yeah, look, they're a disturbance. I figured. No, I figured it was them. Yeah, Fury, look at them. They exposed themselves. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. But there you guys go. Now you guys know. Now you guys know. Now you guys know. But it was very audible. It was very, very audible. Yep. Yeah, goal in reverse. Now you guys know. Yeah. That this was a real thing that was happening. This was a very much real experience that was really occurring. Told you. It's over, y'all. I proved what I had to prove. Here's the message. Be aware of serial killers. Okay? Okay? You know, they killed my cat. I think I could start talking about that now. They worked together to kill my cat. Mask off. That's how I knew. And that wasn't the only one. There was 3 or 4 of them. And then she stole my other cat. But they don't want you to know that, do they? Why it is that I'm so adamant, right? On making sure the cats are safe. Yeah. You live and learn. Friendship. Yep. So now that's it. I'm not mad. I'm not in a trap. And they can go to hell. I think that's about it in the reading. With the mask energy, that's them pretending. Yeah, pretending they're not confined. Yep, pretending they're not confined. Yeah, by God's glory. There you guys go. Yeah, they can't be by God's glory. They're just confined, and God is making them see. God is making them see His glory, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're mentally disturbed, and so call it exposure therapy. Is what's supposed to happen. Yeah. As God promised. Thank you, God. We're moving forward. Yeah. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Bro, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Yeah. They thought they could blindly control me. Yeah, they thought they could blindly control me and shit. Nah. Vengeance will be the Lord's. Yeah. Vengeance will be the Lord's. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.